All right, I know it's been a long and well-awakened return, but I am finally back. I know you've all missed me so much. My name's Matt. His name is Josh.
It's true.
Say hi, Josh.
Hi.
Well done. You actually said hi for once. He's learning. And finally, reinforcing the fact that he believes he has to be named last, it is Lewis. Lewis.
Benefit of being a power bottom.
Sure. That only Lewis will introduce like that. Thank you for that. Oh, we are back to normal ways, aren't we? So I know you've all missed me so much.
Yeah, the two people who might listen to this have missed you. You're right.
I know. You've all missed me so much. We've had countless emails from quite literally no one begging for my return, but I, alas, am now back. How many? Is it just been 2 weeks?
Yeah, we did 2 disconnected.
Yeah.
And now we've run out of names for solo episodes, so frankly, don't miss another one.
Yeah, I will certainly try not to.
It's going to happen eventually.
Oh, Happy New Year, by the way. Obviously,
I wished you a happy Festag, and you were like very dismissive.
Did I?
Yeah, you were like something like that.
Oh,
like that's my shtick.
I can't honestly remember. But yeah, we are now in a new decade. You guys do anything particular for New Year's?
Yeah, we went out for burgers.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I did something slightly different.
And you went to Niagara Falls.
No, I did go to Niagara Falls, which was an experience, certainly. Word of warning, though, I will give to anyone that does wish to visit Niagara Falls, pack warm and then pack more. Because, Lord have mercy, is it cold there. It is freezing.
Well, I'm a man, Matt. I can put up with the cold.
Yeah, you're right. You'll just walk out there with practically nothing but a wife beater on. You'll be absolutely golden.
You'll just be wearing like your classic shirt and hoodie, and that'll be it.
My shirt, hoodie, and jeans combo is enough to satisfy even the coldest of weathers.
It'll be up Everest and nothing but that.
Whether it's summer in Dubai or winter in Russia, you'll only be ever wearing that.
Yeah.
That's it. Different colours maybe, but apart from that, that's it.
Matt, you've seen what I wear. I wear 3 colours. I wear grey, sometimes wear white, and I wear like blacky blue.
I mean, pretty much, yeah.
An actual black, I guess. But that's an absence of colour. So
something I do have to say, I didn't realise about Niagara though, before I went. I did not realise that it's the Canadian Las Vegas. Not like gambling casino wise, but just the amount of lights. It looked like some sort of like Las Vegas strip as soon as I entered the town. It was weird. I didn't realise it. Because it's obviously just such a tourist location.
It's never actually occurred to me that Niagara is a town.
Well, no, that's the thing. I thought it was a case of
really?
It's just the falls, and, there'll be some tourists that will rock up there, look at the falls, maybe go out on a boat and be like, oh, cool, the waterfalls. Right, awesome, got the pictures, got the video, we're out of here. No, apparently it turns out that there's an entire town that's built around it that is literally just completely sprawling with tourists. And there's like, I don't know, it's like, there's just so much around there. There's like arcades and stuff. Not to mention, obviously, all the shops.
Oh, it's a beach town. That's what you're telling me.
Kind of. It's just the amount of lights. I'll have to show you some photos because it's just crazy.
I would say there'd be photos in the description, but I doubt it.
I doubt it. But at least you two could see the photos, I assume. What was also interesting though was my mate Mo took me, and he works at the airport here, and because it was such a last minute thing, I had not packed properly for when we were visiting there, and so he ended up giving me an extra jacket out the back of his car, but it just so happened to be the jacket that he wears at the airport, which is a high visibility one. So I was going around the entire night in a high visibility jacket looking like some sort of safety officer that was rocking up at the event for no particular reason.
Maybe you've just been like sort of convinced that was what happened. He actually had a different one, but he doesn't trust you enough and thinks you're a safety hazard. So he gives you the high vis one just to make sure.
Oh no! To be fair, Some of his mates, when we lost them in the crowd at one point, said it was actually quite helpful because all they had to do was stop and stand there for 2 seconds and look for the single bright-eyed, high visibility jacket bloke out in the crowd. Not only that, but also they could just listen out for 2 seconds and listen for the only British accent in the entire crowd, and they were absolutely fine.
Even if you
Wow,
were
you
like
really
American
must have
plus
stuck out.
Canadian, people would have noticed you. You are very loud.
Yeah, no, I am. I do have the tendency to have my voice travel through multiple walls.
He's not recording, but he's just shouting and we're
Literally,
picking it up.
I
It's
was
true.
going to say, I'm actually being picked up by Josh's microphone right now, 3,000 miles away. So that's how loud it is. I have to say, though, talking about accents, though, there wasn't predominantly American and Canadian people there, I didn't think. Like, there was so many different, races and creeds and cultures there. It's crazy. Like, I think I heard...
I guess it is
I
quite
think
touristy, though.
English was practically the minority language being spoken.
Yeah.
Well,
there
there
were so many
are
other
French people in Canada, Matt.
Well, yeah, ha 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 ha. No, I meant there were so many different languages being spoken. It was hardly like anyone was speaking English. Because I suppose everyone in the area decided that they were obviously going to go there for the fireworks. One thing I will say about the fireworks, though, rather short, I thought. Because like the ones in London are pretty decently long. They're about probably 10, 15 minutes, maybe.
Oh
The
god,
ones here
are we
about
really
2.
complaining about the New Year's fireworks? Because like I'm
Not
not tell
really
you
that much.
Those
They were all right.
those
they were all
London ones
right.
are dreadful.
Well, I mean, they were all right, the fireworks. I just thought they'd go on for a little bit longer. It was like a minute and a half, 2 minutes maybe, and that was it. I just thought it was a bit over too soon.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna put out a nice contradictory opinion there.
It's not
Which
the first
is-
time you've done that, is it?
It depends on how you do it. Which I
I
know
will
is true
agree
for
with that,
everything.
yes.
But you look
It's-
at the London
yeah.
ones, and they shoot way too much up early, and then it's all smoke, and then it's like, well, I can't
Yeah.
see the ending now, and then they do one big grand finale because of the amount of smoke. It's just a big flash of light, which is like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
Well, no,
as
I've
they
been
say,
there in person,
as they say
so-
with essays in at university, it's quality over quantity.
I think they say that for other stuff too.
They do, yeah, but that's when I've heard the phrase the most. It's like when they're talking about like word counts with essays, for example.
Mathematicians
really
hate
hope
long
so.
proofs. If you said to someone, I can prove it in like 2 lines, you are like a god amongst men. Because it's just, you don't want to remember that much like intricate detail. It's just like, oh, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. It's not proof, but
Pythagoras.
you intimately familiar with Pythagoras?
Literally, that is one of the only equations that has been ingrained and embedded into the bottom, very foundations of my brain. It's just like a squared plus b squared equals c squared. It's just
At the moment, I've got the proof for how RSA encrypting and Elgamal encrypting is done. It's just like every day I write this thing out like 3 times. I'm never gonna forget it.
I mean, I have no idea what the hell you're talking
It's
about.
how
but then
your phone
again,
is encrypted.
oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, because like, I say I don't understand what you're talking about, but then again, whenever you speak about anything to do with what you do at uni, I
Yeah.
never understand what you're talking about. So it's not really that much difference.
It is a different world.
Yeah.
This happens
Pretty
a lot
much.
with my family as well. Because my family's like a lot of doctors and
Ooh.
like a
those
couple of probation officers.
those must be fun family dinners.
So it's weird though because it's like obviously you have 2 sides of each side of your family, right? You've got like your maternal grandmother's side and your maternal grandfather's side and all that stuff.
Right.
On my grandmother's side, it's all doctors. And then on my grandfather's side, it's pretty much all doctors.
Right.
But neither of them are doctors. So we just got the short end of the stick.
Huh.
We got the 2 like not as intelligent people in the family. That's where I'm from. I'm from like the failures. And the other
Well,
side is like
well,
we're
it's
doctors.
weird, it's like-
that doesn't mean failure.
Well, I
Not
mean, it's like
necessarily.
it's like Josh and Alex, computing and music. Neither of your parents are into really computing or music.
No.
But then again,
that's true.
my brother and I are both in. Well, he's like maybe a bit more sciencey than me, but like also like history and stuff like that. And I'm into history, and neither of my parents are much into that sort of stuff. So,
Imagine being into history.
ha 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 ha. Oh, sorry, I forgot that you.
It's been a couple of weeks.
Sorry, I was gonna say it's been a couple of weeks. You haven't been able to vent about the subjects I take for a little while, have you?
It's all in good fun.
Oh, I know.
But secretly, I despise you and your subject, and I hope that you inevitably fail. JK.
JK, but not JK. Oh, it's like being at college lunchtimes all over again.
Well, if you'd like to get further into tent, Matt, what did you think about what I said last week on the podcast?
Oh my god. Okay, so let me get this straight. So you said last week that
you haven't listened to the full episode yet, but you listened to some of it.
Yeah, I think I've listened to most of it, I think. So first of all, right, Witcher 3. I'm sorry, but in what realm of existence that could possibly ever have happened to exist could The Witcher 3 be described as easy to complete?
The one that we're currently in.
No. just all realms and manners of the word no. How? I was listening to that whilst doing some work, and I literally stopped my work because I was like, "You said what now?" I just had like flashbacks. Like, I still haven't completed the game. I think I've got to. I'm partway through Skellig at the moment.
Skelliger is like a very short section of the game if you ignore all of the side content.
Yeah, but you see, I don't.
Yeah, neither do I, which is why I'm over-leveled and find the game too easy.
But it's also the problem of, because it then often means that I have loads of unfinished quests that I've clicked on in other areas of the game that I'm not in.
Do you not like completely finish areas before you move on?
Well, I accidentally stumbled on Skellig.
How did you accidentally stumble upon Skelliger?
When I say accidentally stumble, I didn't mean accidentally stumble. I mean, like, I would do side quests and the main quests, interchangeably, and then I ended up doing one mission for the main quest that then sent me to Skellig.
You can teleport back.
Yeah, I know, but now I'm on Skellig, so I want to do stuff on Skellig. But now I found out that I need to go back.
I'm annoyed
because the problem is that I've gone there too early. Skelliger.
I was wondering when you were going to mention.
Sorry, Skelliger. Is that better?
Yeah.
Right. Sorry. The problem is that I've now discovered that I need to go back because the problem is I've gone to Skelliger too early. I'm not high in a
There's
level.
never a time to be on Skelliger too early.
You're never too early to be on Skelliger.
We spoke about the XP system last week, so I'm not going to do it again, but like, because of the way the XP system works, you're always over-leveled while simultaneously being under-leveled.
It's like there's some sort of medium middle thing that they've put you in. And it's a bit weird. Because as you say, yeah, sometimes you feel like you're too overpowered for sections. And then other times you just get one-shotted. And you're like, well, how the hell did that happen?
Well, that's my secret, is I'm good at the game. So I always have my shield up.
Oh, Lewis, how I've missed your...
because I wear a shield.
Your mannerisms.
Listen, you can think the game is hard, all you like.
I do.
And I'm not going to stop.
That's my entire contention with your point from last week.
All I'm going to say, Matthew, is that...
Oh, God.
You need to use potions
He said the
more,
full name. He said the full name. I'm
you
screwed.
need to level up correctly. There's only, those are your only options.
I mean,
if you're good at
yeah.
either of those two things, and playing the game in general, just not getting hit, you won't struggle.
Fair enough.
Moral of the story is get good.
You see what it's like dealing with it.
I really hate the get good mentality, by the way. I think that
I know. But the problem is, you often say it, and I know you're saying it sarcastically, but I know internally in your mind you are actually thinking that, because you actually are thinking, just get good with the game. What's the problem?
Honestly, I disagree, kind of.
Get good isn't like a valid mentality.
Well, of course it isn't.
What?
Okay, Lewis.
So
why
are you saying that you shouldn't try and learn the game's mechanics?
No, that's not what get good means from my perspective. I think get good is basically just like when people like make a complaint about the game, Like someone will say that something is needlessly difficult, and the response is get good because they didn't struggle with it.
Oh, sure.
It delegitimizes potentially valid complaints about the game just because you didn't experience them.
Yeah.
Right? Which is why I try and avoid the get good mentality. And I also think that get good doesn't actually address the heart of people's issues. Like if Matt comes to me and says, "Oh, I'm really struggling with this enemy, can you help me out?" And I just say, "Get good." That's not helpful because there's genuine tips that I can provide. Or like maybe if I don't know exactly what he's struggling with, I can maybe provide general tips that might help him see mistakes. Sorry for using this example, Matt.
To be fair, he has done that with me. To give Lewis props where he is due, he has helped me out at certain points before with the game.
I disagree with the idea of...
I'm not a complete arse, guys.
Not complete, just like mostly.
What I disagree with is the idea of just like having... Just making the game easier just to suit someone who's like not as good at the game. Or not just not as good at the game, but just from lack of experience.
What would you say if I said Dark Souls should have an easy mode?
Please?
I wouldn't.
Because then I could play the game.
I'd say no. I'd say I wouldn't like that.
Why not?
Because it then... I realised that wouldn't really take away from my experience. I could just play on a regular mode.
Yeah, you'd play on like the... I think it depends on how you phrase it. If I said to you there's like Dark Souls normal and Dark Souls hard, you'd feel like, oh, Dark Souls is, artificially increasing the difficulty. But if I said, oh, there's Dark Souls normal and Dark Souls easy, you would feel like, oh, this is how Dark Souls is meant to be.
If I said that I completed Dark Souls on easy mode, would you count me as having completed Dark Souls or not?
Are you using this as sort of a way to show that you understand the story and lore, or are you trying to show that you've done it by gameplay? Because I think that's the bit that matters.
Well, I mean, if I just said I've done, if I said I've played through Dark Souls or I've done Dark Souls, I've done the Dark Souls campaign or whatever, and then
it wouldn't be a false statement,
right?
No.
But
I'd just say you wouldn't have got the actual Dark Souls experience.
Okay.
I think that the key thing with Dark Souls is, I'm about to like argue against my own thing that I just suggested there, is that Dark Souls kind of has to be difficult for you to get the themes as well. You can get them on like if you just played through it and killed every boss immediately anyway.
Yeah.
But like struggling is kind of the game.
Yeah.
It's a mechanical challenge as opposed to like The Witcher, which is like the story that you play through and sometimes has challenge.
Yeah.
Sorry, never has challenge. That's not. I've got to like cement my position here that the Witcher.
Oh no, of course, it's completely easy.
Is like insanely easy all the time.
You can't back down from it now.
I'm not backing down from it. I am, but like I will say, The Witcher is very easy, but it's also because I know how to play. It's easily exploitable. I'd like to backtrack a bit. It's easily exploitable, and if you don't know how to exploit it, it's more difficult.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. I need to learn how to exploit it.
See, I don't get so much enjoyment out of just exploiting a game's mechanics.
It's not like cheating. It's using all the mechanics that you should be using, but it's the combination of them that makes you exponentially more powerful. The Witcher 3 has idle game style leveling, I guess, or like power increasing.
Yeah.
Is that each slight addition scales you immensely because everything is a multiplier. So you put a potion on, you're stronger. You put some oils on, so now you're 225% stronger or whatever. And then you add your skills onto that, and then your gear onto that, and then everything started to scale pretty high.
Okay.
Hence why things get easy if you know what you're doing. Because all of these slight buffs are like quadrupling your damage. Or your toughness or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's Roach. Good old Roach.
We've like thrown every Roach complaint out there, I think.
I think the whole gaming community has.
I like Roach. She's great.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I don't actually have that much of a problem with Roach, to be honest. Do you know what I didn't realise for a whole, quite a long while?
It's she?
Well, no, not that.
Because everyone says he, and I get annoyed by it.
I can understand that. But no, what I didn't realize is that if you just hold A or the respective button on whatever you're playing on, you can on a road it will just keep galloping for you without reducing stamina.
And it's pretty good as well, right? Because it goes where you want it to go.
Yeah, it's like autopilot. But I didn't realize that for ages, and I was manually galloping and running down the stamina, and then having to wait. Yeah, I didn't realize that for ages, and then when I realized, I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
So Josh, now to mediate you and Matt, because Matt just said something that you vehemently disagree with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Matt said it goes where you want it to go.
Yeah, that's not my experience. See, my experience with Roach is that she just like you can be like going down like what appears to just be like a regular road, just a normal main road for like quite a while, and it's all fine. Then there's like a 90 degree turn in the road, or like that's like an off turn, and it also carries on going straight. And sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes Roach will just veer off down that 90 degree turn without you like pressing any buttons.
Okay, so so sometimes when it comes to a divide in the road where it gives you an option of one or two, you can either go down this path or this path because it diverges. Sometimes it will snap onto the wrong one. Yeah, but but all I do is that whenever I'm coming up to a crossing, well, not a crossing, but whenever I'm coming up to like an optional path up ahead, like if it starts to snap onto the other one, I'll just direct it off and keep galloping.
I like we both said the same thing to this criticism.
Well, that's what I do.
No,
like,
okay.
Yeah, if I'm like galloping and then I see there's another road coming off of this road up ahead,
You just turn preemptively.
I'll just preemptively make sure to turn to make sure I'm on the same path.
Okay, sure. I do. When I was playing, I was doing that when there was like no obvious direction that Roach should go like down if they were just to continue. But there were some situations where Roach just went completely. So okay, like there's a road just going straight along, and then there's like some other like minor pathway. That's just
not like a natural road, but like a small little pathway into the woods or whatever.
Well, no, it could be an actual road. Could be.
Okay.
The main point is that the road still continues on in a like almost a straight line.
Yeah.
But it has like another turning off point.
Just sounds
and
like
sometimes Roach will just turn off.
Yeah, sometimes it would just snap onto the turning off point if you're too close to it. Yeah.
I don't understand why though, because it's just
because you're
still
near that
on
turning
one
off
road.
Point.
Yeah, but you're closer to you're already on a singular path.
Yeah, but they expect you to have like some interaction with the game.
I think the point is if you're going down a road and then you start to veer too close to the other road that you could snap onto, is it that much of a surprise that you snap onto that road?
I don't understand why you need to choose to continue going in the same direction that you've been going in for a while.
Because it doesn't know where you're wanting to go.
Yeah, it's the thing controlling you. Like, it's controlling the direction at that point.
Yeah, but you guide it. It's doing the mechanical, like, moving, because that's
like, all you're literally saying, because all it is doing is you're telling it, you're on this road, keep going down this road.
Yeah. And it doesn't keep going down that road. Because
when it then gets to a divergent path, if you veer
it's not a divergent.
The other... Okay,
it's a path that goes straight along and just has another turning off of it.
I agree. It is
it's not like glitchy. It's just splitting. It's not like a Y split.
It is a little glitchy. What they could have done is have you have it be more of a case of you have to actively really turn it in order to go onto the other road, and that if you don't do anything, it will literally stay on the same path. They could have done that, yeah. But I honestly don't find it that much of a problem, to be honest.
I've got a real problem with the game, though. Like, one that I didn't address last week.
Yeah.
Well, I did. I was getting to it, but I never actually explained to myself, and I feel like it's just an unwarranted criticism if I don't finish what I was saying. Act 3 of The Witcher is hot garbage.
Well, I haven't reached it, so I can't comment. So
I'll avoid spoilers, so that isn't too terrible. But
I-
essentially,
I'll give fake spoilers because I haven't reached it yet. So everybody dies, apart from
Oh.
Geralt because he kills everybody. Apart
Oh.
from Roach, and they just ride off into the burning sunset of a dying world. There you go. That's the ending. I don't know.
it's surprisingly accurate.
Am I actually?
No,
Seriously?
No.
Okay.
Well, it's got multiple endings.
Oh! Is it actually?
Yeah, your choices. All right, Matt, I'm going to give you some little spoilers because they won't matter. So, the ending of Act 3 is kind of terrible. The beginning of Act 3 is kind of terrible. And the gameplay throughout Act 3 is kind of terrible. Now, where do you want to begin?
I assume the start of Act 3 would probably be a good
Okay,
starting
let's start at the
point.
beginning of Act 3. So, the beginning of Act 3 is right after the end of Act 2, shockingly.
Wow.
Linear progression
I'm
of stories
so
and
surprised.
chronology work like that. So the end of Act 2 involves you grabbing a bunch of your allies and going back to Kaer Morhen. And then you fight off the Wild Hunt. And some things happen, and then Act 3 starts.
Okay, sure.
Act 3 is collect a bunch of allies so that you can fight the Wild Hunt. But it's just worse. Because you can't collect any new allies. You just have the ones that you have. So now that you're like walking around to them, you're doing like one quote unquote loyalty quest for them. That's basically, Yennefer wants to go and do this thing, or Ciri wants to go and see this lab, or she wants to go and like mourn over someone's body. It's like, these are nice, but this isn't real gameplay. This is what should have been a side quest.
Yeah.
What I will say
It's
about the
been fun.
side quests, though, is sometimes the side quests are so well developed and quite lengthy. I honestly thought they were part of the main campaign. Like I was convinced for a fairly long time the Red Baron quest was actually part of the main campaign.
It is.
Well, I mean,
It's entirely part of the campaign.
well, I
Up
mean,
until he
only,
asks if you want to join. When he asks if you want to join him to go and find his wife, that's when it splits, and you can say, "No,
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm going to go
yeah.
and find Ciri."
yeah, good. Well, I suppose it's only part of the main campaign in the sense that he tells you where Ciri went.
Yeah, so you have to do a couple of quests for him. But I think his quest is the best in the game. If you ignore the
it was
DLC,
so deep.
Hearts of Stone is a better story. This is what I said last episode. Is
Which
Act
one's
1
Heart of
is
Stone?
really good. Then Act 2 is kind of okay, and then Act 3 is not so great. So Hearts of Stone is the DLC where you're working with
Okay.
the Man of Glass. And it's so goddamn good. Like, it is the best video game story I've ever played.
Oh, dang.
Seriously.
So Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine are the two DLCs, and they have opposite problems. So Blood and Wine has kind of a not so great main story, but really good like side activities and world building. The opposite's true for Hearts of Stone. Hearts of Stone just goes, we only really care about Gauntro Dim and something von Everick. I think that's his name. So the main plot of Hearts of Stone is amazing. It's about dealing with essentially a genie.
Yeah.
And you have to deal with the consequences of certain wishes that were made. And seeing these like clever twists pulled off before your eyes while dealing with a creature that you have no conceivable way of beating.
Nice.
Okay.
Right? It's really good. Bloody Baron's pretty much a close second to that.
What would you
Right.
say are some of your favourite creatures in The Witcher?
Oh, I love vampires in The Witcher.
I don't think
So
I've faced a
intelligent and
vampire.
cruel.
I don't think I've faced a vampire.
Bruxay are vampires. They're not as intelligent. You want like higher vampires, the proper scary
Okay.
ones. I like griffins. They're relatively fun to fight, although
Fiends,
they get boring.
Fiends I thought were quite fun.
Fiends. Okay, I really like how fiends look and their
I know,
general
they
aesthetic.
look awesome.
The first fiend you fight is in the Bloody Baron quest line, right at the end when it comes in.
Yeah, it is,
It's summoned by some of the crones, and it's terrifying when it happens.
Oh, it is. It's absolutely terrifying. With that, you see that thing coming for you, and you're like, I'm supposed to kill that? I'm
Because
sorry,
you've never
what?
fought anything that big.
No, ever. I thought it was going to cut to a cutscene and Geralt was going to slice it in half, and then it cut to like open gameplay. I was like, oh, sorry, Gabe, you want me to
I
do
have
this?
to do this.
Yeah, I was like, I'm being given a responsibility for doing this. You
But then
think I'm
as-
capable?
As you continue playing, you'll find that fiends are kind of like mini bosses.
Yeah.
So they'll start throwing them at you in weird places. Like there's in Act 2, there's a place that you can go to that's like entirely story related called the Isle of Mists. You'll know it when you come to it because it comes up with a little box that says you can't come back from here for about 2 to 4 hours. Are you sure you want to do this? So you know it when it happens. There'll just be a random fiend there for you to fight, and then you realise that fiends aren't so scary.
Honestly, no, I've faced 2 fiends. One was at the end of the Red Baron quest, as you say, and then the other one was on a side quest where I ended up going to like a cave, and it was just in there.
No, that wasn't a fiend.
Oh, sorry, no.
That was a chort.
Actually, no. It was sorry, that was a chort, wasn't it? Sorry, that was smaller. Sorry, yeah, no.
I love the chort.
Have I faced? That was fine. Actually, no, I might have just faced 1 fiend then.
There aren't many fiends. I think there's probably.
I think
5
I might have just faced 1.
push.
Actually, yeah.
The thing with them is that you can just keep hitting them, and they get perma-stunned.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it happens with a lot of enemies. It happens with elementals too. Is at a certain point you'll hit hard enough that you'll trigger a stun animation every time you hit them. So you'll hit twice, they'll get stunned, but then you get another 3-2 hits, and they get stunned again. And you just keep doing it.
I tell you what, I think I need to also learn to use more spells because I'm so transfixed on using my weapons. I don't.
Oh, the signs are trash.
Really?
Yeah, they're. It depends on if you know what you're doing. So, like, Yrden's pretty much essential against a lot of high-level wraiths if you're low level. But once you're about the same level as wraiths, just don't bother and just keep whacking them. Because you'll do more damage whacking them than they'll deal to you. And you can heal through pretty much anything, because Blood and Wine added a ability that was called Gourmet, which means food effects last 20 minutes. And that just means 20 minutes of healing for 1 meat. And you get 5 meat per horde of wolves.
I was just going to say, with you saying about the DLC for Witcher having one of the best storylines you've ever seen in a video game, what would you say are also up there in terms of storylines from a video game? In terms of the ones you think are really, really good.
Pong, pretty good.
I don't know what that is, but...
Do you know?
Pong?
Pong.
Oh, God. Is that some reference to another game? Is this like Bing Bong?
No, this is just Pong.
Oh, okay. I thought it was actually called something else, and you were calling it Pong as in like a funny
No, it's
name.
just the
What's
game.
Pong?
Oh my God. Holy hell.
Like the first video game.
Not the first. One of the first.
It's very okay. What, was Space Invade?
No, there was like some dumb game. I'll try to look for it.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait,
yeah,
hang on, wait. No, is Pong the one with the 2 top of the screen, bottom of the screen slider things, and there's a ball in between. You have to. Oh, okay. I didn't know that was called Pong.
Really? Okay.
To be honest, though, I didn't know what it.
Fair enough.
I don't know what I called it. Because it's just like
It's like ping pong.
It's like table hockey. It's like table hockey.
Yeah.
Or whatever it's called. Yeah.
Air hockey.
Air hockey. So that's it. Yeah, it's like air hockey except like a digital version.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And also from like the 1980s.
I wanted to say though, your question is unfair because comparing anything to The Witcher is like harsh.
What?
Oh yeah, I know. It's like it was voted Game of the Year for a reason. But like, what would you say also up there with some of the storylines from games that you thought, wow, that was actually pretty good?
I play a lot of story-based games, and there really aren't many that are very good.
Arkham series I thought was decent, especially the first 2.
I don't really like the first Arkham for a story. I just play it because like Batman's pretty cool, and you fight a lot of his villains.
Okay, well at least the second one. Then. The second one's got a good story.
I didn't play the second one.
Oh, okay, that was voted Game of the Year as well.
I mean, Borderlands has a fun story. I don't think I'd ever call it good. Halo has...
Halo? Yeah, I was going to say Halo.
Man, the Halo lore is insane.
I don't think I actually know that much.
I don't really
Halo
know.
lore.
Yeah, neither do
The
I.
Halo rings are kamikaze devices.
Really?
What?
Yeah, if you activate them all, pretty much everything in the universe gets killed. Or something like that.
Nice.
It's such a massive nuke. And it can't kill the
What?
Flood, which is what it was designed to do. Because the Flood are a super intelligent hive mind made of transgalactic beings before they were corrupted by the Forerunners.
Okay, this has gone
Yeah,
way
I know-
beyond
yeah, I was gonna
what I
say, yeah,
thought
I had
Halo
no
was
I
idea.
about.
thought the story was about the Covenant, and it's like, nah.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm
Um,
used to. It's just the Covenant.
Covenant are just...
Grunts and elites, that's it.
Yeah, no, it It's predominantly about how the Forerunners twisted a more advanced race than them by doing something.
Are those
And
the
that's
people
what
in
the
Halo
Flood
4?
is. Yes.
Oh,
They're pretty much all
right,
dead, though.
okay.
They almost all died trying
Yeah,
to...
they're like glowing
pick up
lava and rock people.
No, I think they're dead.
At least
or
their
something.
well,
I
at
don't
least
really
their
know. I
guns
haven't
look like
played
that.
one.
Their
Well, I
guns
have,
kind
it's
of
been a
look
while.
like that, but
So Halo lore's nuts, but I don't think it's great.
okay.
I just,
Well, I mean,
there just
I
aren't
mean-
many good games for story.
I mean, at least the I meant at least the actual games themselves, the storyline of the games. Like Halo Reach had a good story.
Halo Reach is
I
a pretty alright story. It's very short though. That's the big problem with it.
Oh, what's it? First of all, Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, do you mean Deus Ex Human Revolution?
I don't mean, sorry, Deus Ex Machina. Sorry, Deus Ex Human Revolution. Sorry, yeah.
I honestly didn't even notice that.
That's another game that's heavily exploitable if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, I
It's
need to learn
also
that
way
too.
too easy.
Because I only just started playing it because I never really played it properly when I was younger, and I've heard it's really good. So
Once you get invisibility, you literally can't be touched. And then it's just spam invisibility and hide somewhere someone can't see you, and then invisible again until it runs out, and then you do it again, and then again, and you beat the game. It's not hard.
Oh,
right. Okay.
That's why I stopped playing it. I haven't beaten it because I just got bored.
What else?
Dishonored. I really love the Dishonored stories.
Okay, I haven't played that.
All three of them are pretty good.
I never finished Dishonored 2, actually.
Dishonored
I
2
still
had a
haven't completed
really
that.
good new game system, and I'm kind of sad that it didn't have more expensive and like more powerful. Oh, what are they? Are they just called powers? They are, aren't they? They don't have anything else. They're not like bastards or whatever.
Is there not much usage for a new game then?
Well, no, the new game's really fun because the new game lets you use both Corvo and Emily's powers. Right, which means that you can time stop and
Okay, that is
Doppler.
actually kind of cool.
And like,
that is pretty cool.
It's incredibly fun. The problem is Mission 7 is kind of a drag,
Yeah,
and it ruins the new game experience.
I just thought,
ruins it.
what about your boy Connor, the android sent by Cyberlife?
Yeah, I was going to mention.
I haven't
games
actually.
Like those
don't spoil it for
as
me though,
well.
because I haven't properly played through the game yet. I've only seen the sort of the start of it roughly.
So
Okay.
just to like establish here, you interrupted my very in-depth Dishonored 2 review
yes,
for that.
yes,
That's fine. Never mind.
yeah, you're welcome. Oh, Assassin's Creed, or at least the earlier ones.
No, they have terrible stories.
I thought
Assassin's
the
Creed
earlier-
2 has an incredible plot twist that isn't part of the story.
Yeah, I was going to say Assassin's Creed 2 I thought was alright.
Assassin's Creed 2 is where it was really solid, and then
Yeah.
Brotherhood was pretty alright. Then Revelations was kind of
I mean, do
trash.
you remember collecting those like video clips in Assassin's Creed 2?
For the twist!
That was
was
so
really
cool. It was so mysterious. I was like, what does this all mean?
Yeah, I really enjoyed that part of
But
it.
the revelation was just so like
Yeah.
because it was so mysterious, and I think it's one of those things where like the mystery is what keeps you on hold. Because
Yeah.
the problem is like before something's revealed to you, your mind will twist the meaning into anything, and especially something that might interest you. So you could be like, oh, it could
Did you
mean
not
this,
like
or it
the
could
twist,
mean this,
then?
or it could. Well, I mean, the twist. Okay, I assume we could probably spoil this game given that it
I
came
don't
out
actually
in
remember.
like
Assassin's Creed
2008.
I'm interested to know.
If you do you not know what the twist is, Josh?
Wait, does Josh know? Hang on, wait, Josh, you know what the twist was?
Well, unless the twist is like quite shallow.
No, about the pieces of
okay,
Eden and
so-
the founders and everything.
so
Okay,
skip,
I
like-
was going to say yeah.
If you really care, skip like 3 minutes into the future.
Well, we can stamp it. We'll timestamp. Well, in the description, we'll put the timestamp for after the spoiler. But
Sure.
honestly, this game came out in like when did it come out? Like 2008 or something.
Yeah, no, it was a while back.
Yeah,
All right, Josh,
long
here's the
while
twist.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say who explains
the
it?
pieces
Lewis
of
or I, yeah.
Eden, right? Which the game was like, oh, they're like from God and stuff, are from a different planet, and the first humans are called Adam and Eve.
Not a different planet.
They are from a different planet.
I thought no, they're from Earth.
They're not from Earth.
No, they're from an earlier Earth.
I don't think they're from an earlier Earth.
No, I thought the whole thing was that they were on Earth and then they died out. That was the thing.
Hang on,
the founders. I think. Okay, this is how I understood it. So basically, the Apple of Eden, which is referenced in the game, is one of the pieces of Eden, which were pieces of technology that were created by, like, I suppose, the quote-unquote founder nation or founder race, which was a race that existed on Earth before humans and everyone else did, and that basically a sudden, like, an asteroid dinosaur event happened, and they all died off, and then remnants of their civilization were left behind, which were then being discovered by both the Templars and Assassins. And then it was a race to try and gain hold of this technology in order to be able to use it to their own will, basically.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, so it was just like previous civilization.
Yeah, but they're not humans, though. They built humans.
No, they built humans, and they were a far more advanced race than us. And basically, the whole premise of Assassin's Creed boils down to Team A versus Team B trying to gain access to a previous civilization's technology to conquer the world.
Yeah.
Now, when you put it like that, it's a bit naff.
I dropped off on 4. Like, the twist that humans were built by someone and there's a whole bunch of aliens and all this stuff. Not aliens, but like a whole bunch of advanced previous beings. Like, it's really interesting. And then Assassin's Creed 3 happens, and it kind of sucks, and then it doesn't happen again until, for ages. And I've stopped playing now.
Well, the major,
I don't know where it's going.
Well, so the major interesting thing was, so in Assassin's Creed, in Assassin's Creed 2, in Assassin's Creed 1, not much is really explained, because basically all you know is that you're this guy called Desmond, who's been captured by this company called Abstergo, who it turns out are the Templars.
And it's undeniably a trash game, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a pretty shit game. Sorry, Josh, for that one. But it deserves it. It warrants the beep, because Lord have mercy, is that game not that great? Jump straight to 2. If anyone hasn't played the Assassin's Creed series yet, you could do the Get Serious storyline if you want. So that's basically just 2, Brotherhood, and then Revelations. I like 4 as well, but that's just because it's got so much stuff in it. 4 I really love. Personally, I really love it as well because of the fact that I personally, in history, really love the Age of Sail. It's like one of my sort of sweetheart kind of moments of history that I've always loved. So I was looking forward to that game before it even came out. And then it actually, gameplay-wise, really holds up, I think.
That was the first game I played on the PS4.
Really?
I got it for Christmas, and I was at my grandparents' house. They didn't have internet, so like all I was doing was playing Assassin's Creed 4.
I played on 360.
Oh, I was going to say, I didn't think Black Flag was a PlayStation 4 title.
No, yeah, it was a launch title.
It was one of the launch titles.
It was one of like the really early ones. PlayStation 4 was 2013. Black Flag was about 2014.
I distinctly remember. I distinctly remember that.
3, then?
It was. They were doing both.
They did it on both.
Oh, okay.
I played it on 360 originally because I distinctly remember that Christmas I wanted to get Black Flag and I wanted to get the original Watch Dogs. Oh, do you remember Watch Dogs? How much hype there was around that game.
I'm gonna say something really controversial about the original Watch Dogs, which is they made the drinking game easier after I had done it, and I'm mad.
Wait, what's the drinking game?
So I'm a completionist, right? It's like a known thing about me. And I did all of the single player achievements. And I didn't do the multiplayer ones because I hate multiplayer achievements. I just I consider them worthless and they're not real achievements. And the drinking game, you had to get to like level 10. And it was so goddamn hard if you tried to do like level 8 because like you just have no control. And they made it easier after I'd done them.
Wait, sorry, what do you mean the drinking game? When you said drinking game, I thought you meant like a real life drinking game, like you have to drink every time someone does something in the game. Like every time a character says this word in the game, you have to take a shot or something.
No, there's like a couple of places around the map where you drink with people.
Oh,
and then you have to like move the sticks in different directions and do different things with them and press buttons and all of this. And they made it way too erratic the first time.
I was envisioning having to be half drunk trying to play the game, and then every time that a character or an AI does something stupid, you have to take a shot or something.
I was 13 when this game came out.
I mean, you're never too young to start. Am I right, Alcoholics Anonymous out there?
Woo! So I don't even drink. Why am I saying woo?
Yeah,
I know why, because
there was
it's the
so
other
much
stuff.
hype, though. There was so much hype around that game. I can distinctly remember when do you remember when the original E3 gameplay demo came out? For
I do,
the
because
original
Dan wanted
Watch
a song
Dogs?
about it, and I liked the song.
I just remember seeing that
Yeah.
originally, and like,
It-
first of
It
all,
looks really good.
well, this is the thing though.
And then it came out.
Look at that gameplay demo, and then look at how the actual game ended up looking.
Yeah.
That wasn't. I mean, even Watch Dogs 2 doesn't look as good as the original gameplay.
No, that's what got me. I was like, because when I eventually got hold of the game, I was like, hang on a minute, this doesn't look anything like the actual gameplay demo.
Watch Dogs
no,
was never going to be a
look a lot
great
worse.
IP. I mean, like Watch Dogs 2 is pretty good. I've played it, and not all the way through because
It had
I'll finish.
promise.
Promise.
It had a lot of promise behind it, but it really didn't work.
The problem is, like, people would always say things like, "Oh, you could do this thing. You can get in a car chase, and then you can like use the traffic lights to like take out the police, and then black out the city so everything's hidden, and then you can sneak into an alleyway and hide." And it's like, yeah, you can do that, but like the game was really generous about a lot of that stuff.
But also, the problem is that you really couldn't actually do as much as you thought you could. Because like the problem is like
That's true.
if you had the premise of that game in real life, it would obviously be a hell of a lot cooler. Because if in real life you had a smartphone with an app that let you basically see or do anything you wanted to within an entire network of a city that was all connected to this app, in real life that would be awesome. Because you could go into anyone's social feed, anyone's bank account. You could access or do practically anything, go into any building you wanted to, and do whatever the hell you wanted. In the game,
There's a lot more
the reality
access.
was, there's a lot more access in real life. In the game, the reality is what could you do? You could look on someone's account and see some random thing they were doing, which really actually wasn't that interesting.
I think if there were more of those, like it was a nice world building thing. That's just like, oh, okay,
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Is there was no real world building. The problem is that you could. I mean, like in reality, in the game, how much more could you do in that game than you could in GTA?
I mean, actually, you could do
a couple
you
of
could
traffic
do less.
lights.
Like if you're looking for an objective number of things you can do, GTA 5 had Watch Dogs beat, and it came out the year before.
But even within gameplay, like, you're in a police car chase, and the whole premise was like, oh, you can get rid of the police by activating this or activating that to get away with them. And it's like, how interesting really is that? Because like, because the problem was
It's cool in concept.
It's
but I
cool
don't
in
think
concept, and
good
it's
in
cool maybe
practice.
once or twice, but
Yeah.
after a few times, it just gets repetitive. Like, Lord have mercy, the final level for the original Watch Dogs,
It was trash.
it was so bad.
I remember I came in after I beat it, and I complained at one of you, and you were like,
Oh, yeah, you
how
did-
would
no,
really
it was
enjoy
me.
He's played
It was
through, like,
me.
8 times. I'm like, how?
It was me. You came to me and you were like, because you told me, you said, Matt, have you finished Watch Dogs? And I went, no, I haven't finished it yet. And you just turned around to me and you went, don't. And I was like,
It's
why?
not
And you were
worth
like, you said it's not worth it. It really is not. Because it's fun the first 2 or 3 times, but the problem is there's really not that much you can do. You can use guns, great, you can do that in GTA. You can look at someone's random account to see something random they're doing, which really isn't that interesting. Okay, fine. You can every now and the hacking of the CCTV cameras, not really that interesting, because usually you're doing it just to get to some sort of box to activate something. Every now and then you can get into someone's room to see something, but often that's not really the case. You can get into a car, fantastic. You can pick locks or whatever in GTA. That's not really that surprising. You can activate, traffic lights or speed bollards or whatever. After a few times, that gets repetitive. What else?
So Matt's being incredibly harsh. The game isn't this bad. It's just kind of mediocre. And if you enjoy the core gameplay loop, it's a good game.
It's all right. It's all right.
worth playing.
Okay, yeah. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it's actually a bad game. It's not like one of those games that you shouldn't play if you really want to. It's all right. The problem is that in comparison to what I assume many other young teenage boys were thinking of when they saw the premise of this game, when they saw the original gameplay demo, it doesn't really live up to the hype.
I'm gonna say something really controversial here. It's not really, but it's to promote my love of tabletop RPGs.
I believe this is the second time you've said that phrase this podcast.
I haven't said tabletop RPGs twice.
No. I'm going to say something controversial.
Oh, okay. I haven't said anything controversial. It's a nice opener so that people can be like, oh, that wasn't too bad. It makes my opinion seem more reasonable.
Yeah, but then it's like Boy Who Cried Wolf. You're just going to say that, and they're like, yeah, that's actually going to be that controversial.
So Watch Dogs would have made a way better tabletop game because hacking and darkness and light levels, like, yeah, it's inconvenient, but if it's part of a core gameplay mechanic, it runs consistently. I don't mean like in terms of like, oh yeah, the tabletop doesn't like crash or anything. I mean that like you can run the game relatively easily and people know what's going on. And like you can have different varieties of hackers. So you can have some hackers that are focused on sort of quick, sort of immediate actions, but their overall power level is lower. And then you can have people who focus on like long-term hacks. So the goal is to get those people into the main places you need to get them, so that you can do large-scale things, complete jobs. You can be like bank robbers, or you can be vigilantes, or you could like. There's so much you can do with that if you made that tabletop and let other people run it. And they didn't, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna make this like." They wanted to be cyberpunk. Like most of the levels, like the actual missions, were very like flashy and pink and blues, and like they would give people seizures, and they just weren't really interesting.
I'm really skeptical about this new cyberpunk because
I want it to be good.
I want it to be good. I want it to be good. I want it to be good so badly because it's like Watch Dogs. If they can do,
it's not like Watch Dogs.
Well, no. I mean,
it's similar in one aspect.
It's like Deus Ex.
No. What I mean is like in terms of like the hype. Like you saw the original like gameplay demo for Watch Dogs, you think, oh my god, this is going to be revolutionary.
I'd say the hype is much more than that. The hype around Cyberpunk is like, or at least.
I'd agree. I think it's bigger. Yeah,
I think you need to remember that back in 2013, which was like 2 years before The Witcher came out, The Witcher 3 came out, so Project Red wasn't very big, and most gaming companies were kind of not great, and they were trying to get into mobile development. Watch Dogs came out at the perfect time to be the only new IP that had a new idea, and it just didn't deliver on it. Like it didn't.
Yeah.
It was just poor timing for them, I guess, is that like it was the kind of game that you could sweep under the rug, but because it was the only interesting thing around at the time, it got jumped on.
Yeah. But like, oh my god, if Cyberpunk can be anywhere near the kind of level that they're suggesting it could be with these gameplay demos, with the RPG elements in the gameplay
I've heard it's
elements.
Laggy. It's the way it looks. That
actually doesn't bother me too much because if they just say it's laggy, that can be fixed. If the worst complaint about a game is it's a bit laggy, that can be fixed.
And I've got a pretty decent card, so it won't affect me too much. But I would like it to be relatively optimized.
Oh no, I would too. Yeah, but they'll probably they can put out like they can put out an update on release day or a while afterwards, and it can be fine. Like I'm not going to get it on release.
No, I'm not going to buy it on release.
We're already like 2 generations on.
I know.
Wait,
it was all right when I got a 980 Ti. You might remember, and I'm very bitter about this.
Oh yes.
Josh understands the story. That's why I'm bitter. So I'd set aside a bunch of money to buy a graphics card, and I had some exams coming up, so I thought I'll do it after my exams.
Oh, that was hilarious!
And then I waited longer because I thought, there'll be a 1080 Ti coming out soon, or something like that. So I'll buy that one. That comes out, and then like 6 months, 7 months passes. I'm like, I'm going to commit so that I don't because sunk cost fallacy isn't worth it. And then the next week they released the 1080 Ti.
Honestly, it was the funniest thing ever because I ended up getting it. I ended up getting the 1080 in mine, and Lewis got his just before they released the 1080, and he was so bitter. It was glorious.
I want to point out my card is more powerful than that. So I have a 1080 Ti, which is better than the 1080. That's all I'm gonna say. Hang on, you have a 1060. What are you talking about?
No. In my PC. I have
a 1060.
I don't have my PC with me here in Canada, but in my PC back home.
What a travesty.
Yeah, no, I am somewhat limited in the games I can play with my laptop I have here, but it's not too bad to be honest. But in my PC,
doesn't it still have a dedicated GPU though?
It does. It has like it's either a 1050 or a 1060. I can't remember which. I think it's a 1060.
That's definitely enough. Like quite a few.
Yeah,
games.
On low, I
no,
think
it
it
is.
should run The Witcher.
Oh yeah, definitely.
it can, yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so yeah, and I have the 1080 on my PC back home,
Yeah.
and no, it was just so funny because like,
Pretty
when did it come out? I can't remember.
About a week after, it was dumb how fast it came out.
No, as in what year? Like, were you in secondary school? Or was it?
It would have been like
it was college, right?
it would have been like 2016. I think I got it because it was right at the end of exam season. Like, I think I did my last exam and then I got it.
Yeah. No. So no, that was right. Yeah. So no, it was the summer of that was it. So no, it was the summer of after.
I reckon I still have the email.
It was the summer between first and second year of college that I got my PC. So yeah, I got the 1080.
It would have been about then.
It was hilarious because I do remember like Lewis just coming in and being like, "Well, my life sucks right now."
It really did.
Yeah, that is pretty rough.
It was just the timing was just so fun. It was like they almost intentionally did it. Like, he's bought the 980 now. Right now, we can release it.
It's fine. This 980 has served me well.
I'm sure it has.
I mean, it's still a really good card.
It is a really good card. Thank you for justifying my decision to purchase it.
Anything that helps you suffer the blow.
It's been 4 or 5 years now. I'm not too bothered.
Are you thinking of upgrading soon, or is it still all right?
My parents know I like playing video games and stuff. So they're like, "Oh, are you thinking of upgrading your PC? Like, we're willing to like help with if you got a birthday coming up, whenever." Like, obviously, I don't now. My birthday's in August, but like they'll say, "Oh, if you've got this thing coming up, we'll
just decide when your birthday's coming up.
We'll just comp you the money you spend on this thing."
Next week.
So like. It's nice that they're like, "Are you thinking of upgrading?" But I don't know what to upgrade because, like, I'm not up to date on the PC scene. I was like, I looked for like a month and then I was like, done, over. I don't have to care anymore. I don't want to have to start caring again.
I would say if you don't have to upgrade RAM, don't, because it's for some reason ungodly expensive right now, isn't it?
Not now.
Oh, is it not?
It's ungodly cheap right now.
Yeah, because
Hang
Bitcoin.
on. When I went to upgrade mine, it was ridiculously expensive.
Yeah. Last year, for like, because I was looking about upgrading my computer, and I still haven't upgraded yet.
It's 2017.
But RAM prices are great right now, so I might. Sorry.
It was 2017 that they went up like hugely, weren't they? Because
Bitcoin
carried on. People
carried on into
it was
2018.
No, that was right. Sorry, no, Josh. It was I upgraded my RAM in. I upgraded my PC in first year of uni, and I upgraded the RAM, and I upgraded to an SSD. And yeah, I remember you saying like, "Good luck with getting RAM because it's ridiculously expensive right now." And then I carried
on into a bit of 2018 as well.
Well, I also had to upgrade my RAM. Well, not upgrade, but replace my RAM in 2018. Because one of my sticks decided to get completely corrupted, and so I had to completely reinstall Windows and get one of the sticks replaced.
Yeah.
Whoever is enjoying this this PC specs talk.
Yeah, I was going to say, if anyone doesn't know what the hell is
PC specs
if anyone doesn't know what the components inside a PC are, this might be a bit of a gobbledygook session right now.
It's a gobbledygook session for me, and I know what I'm talking about.
No, but RAM was like for 16 gigabytes of RAM was
stupidly expensive.
In like 2017, it was around £120, I think.
Something like that. If not more, depending on where you got it from.
Oh yeah, but that was like the cheapest you could get it, and now the cheapest set that I've found is like £66.
I hate
for the exact same thing. It's actually better because of faster speed.
So what else are you thinking of upgrading, Lewis?
What am I thinking about upgrading? Honestly, this thing runs well enough.
What CPU have you got?
Listen, do you think I remember that? Because I don't.
How much RAM are you running? 8 or 16?
32?
You're 32?
32?
That's a bit excessive, isn't it? I was going to say, why the hell do you need 32? 16's absolutely fine.
You think it's excessive? I think I run Minecraft mod packs.
Oh, okay. You know what,
okay.
I get it.
Okay, That's completely justified.
We've
It's
had,
just like,
Minecraft is
me and Joanna have had like crashes because we'd run because they'd run the server.
honestly,
If
yeah,
they
it's
open
one of
them in the wrong order. They open up their server and it uses all of their RAM. Then they open up the game, instantly crashes. So you have
holy crap.
nothing quite hurts the
Yes.
RAM like having to run Minecraft mod packs.
yeah,
All those are fun.
those are fun.
Minecraft is so intense on like CPU and
You know,
RAM.
we never did do that
Oh,
Christmas
I
village.
just-
That's all I'm
very
saying.
annoying.
We didn't do it.
That's the weakest part of my
I just thought, Lewis, we need to do the weekly. How many tabs has Josh got open, and what is
Oh,
his
that's
RAM
a good
capacity?
point.
What's his RAM and CPU capacity at right now?
Josh, pray tell.
Let me check. Sorry?
Pray tell. I've got 2 tabs open. One of them is Eden from Assassin's Creed. We know why. And the other one is for next episode. It's a tease.
I have 4. I have the
It's not
overall
really
one-
a tease.
Oh, yeah, it's open too.
I
Okay,
have
well
4.
now it's a tease.
I have 4. I have 2 of them. I'll get in. Well, one of them's yeah. Actually, no. Yeah, I've got 4 open.
Do you want to think this through before you say this?
I've got the OneDrive for all of our podcast stuff open. I've got the topics document out for stuff we talk about.
I like that
and,
document has nothing on it because I keep all of my stuff on the show notes.
It's just 1 or 2 things I add because I'm the only one that can never be bothered. And then there's a couple of things that were basically information to do with the topic that I was going to talk about, which I'll get onto in a second. But that's all I've got open. Now, Josh, how many tabs have we currently got open on yours?
Okay. I'm
Is it
not going to count
okay?
because it would take a while.
Is it below 30?
Probably not, no.
Do you reckon it's below 40?
No. It's
Oh
below
my
50.
God.
I'm sure it's below 50.
You have a problem.
Okay, look, can
you
I...
have a problem.
Okay,
What
can
is
I explain
wrong
though?
with
Because I
you?
think I explained this
You
before.
could, no,
Maybe
no,
I
you
didn't.
can't. You can't. You could
explained
try.
it to me 100 times, and I don't understand it. Just
Josh, you
bookmark
could-
Normal,
them.
Josh,
normal
you
people,
could
yeah,
try.
normal people bookmark things. I just leave them there.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's literally it.
Okay. Now you have to open
I don't
up Task
really use
Manager.
bookmarks.
Open up Task Manager.
It's not
What is
that
your...
bad.
Really?
It's not that bad. Chrome is
It doesn't
using
load them
under a
until you,
gigabyte.
open them.
Actually,
yeah.
no, that's true. Yeah,
That's the
That's
thing.
true.
Like, I don't actually use many of the tabs like on a routinely. So it doesn't really get to
But you have to
like it gets to
navigate
like
40
1.5
of them.
gigabytes.
How? How do you do that? Would drive me insane. If I have too many tabs open, I hate it. and
Next
that's
time
if
I
have
get
like
over
8.
to Josh's house, I'm gonna start like moving them tabs about.
Oh my God,
You know,
no. No.
I've realised Josh.
Oh.
This is the problem. You know how some people you go over their house and it's like really really dirty, and you end up having to clean up and like rearrange their furniture. And
No, yeah,
stuff?
no, it's like me, where I know where everything is, even though it's a complete
Yeah.
mess. I
Wi-
put it
wi-
there.
With
Yeah.
Josh, it's not that. It's just his internet history. It's not like you know his room's really untidy. It's just his browser.
You haven't seen my room in a while. My desk is a complete tip.
Your room's never really been that bad. It's just your browser's just every time I see your computer,
true.
it's like every time you open up Chrome, it just like groans with the weight of tabs. It
It
has
doesn't
to open.
groan. Well, that's the thing, because it only loads like a few, like 4 different tabs. Like that, I'm only really
If you
using
only
4 different
need
tabs.
4 of them. Just close the rest.
I can easily go back to the other 50 though.
What do you
have to get in the
reckon?
bookmark, but if you don't use them daily, just get rid of them and then go to them when
It's
you
true.
need
I
them.
probably should. I probably
What do
should.
you reckon? What do you reckon would be your CPU usage if you opened up every
I
single?
want
one
him to.
right
I
now?
want him to crash his computer.
Yeah, I
and
want
use
you
the
to.
recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be wouldn't
What honestly? What do you reckon would happen if you clicked?
it? It would
and opened
probably
every
it
single
would
one?
probably get to be using like 3 gigabytes of RAM.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
Ow. Yeah, that's
To
a
be
ridiculous
honest,
amount.
that's not like that's not too bad. like,
that's not
it's
too
not
bad.
too
How
bad.
many gigs of RAM have you got?
Mine's
Okay.
using 900 megs.
Okay. See. Okay. I have got the
How much is mine
the
using?
exact
To
same.
be fair, I've got
amount
AI
as you.
Dungeon open.
900 megs. Mine's using
Does that use
450.
much?
Yeah, it's using 700 gigs of RAM. Not gigs, megs of RAM.
Oh, okay.
My browser is currently using 700 gigs of RAM.
Okay, I also have like a couple of YouTube videos open.
Close
And then-
them.
But no, I was watching them.
But you're not watching them because you have
Not
two
currently.
open.
No, sorry.
You have two open. You're not watching them.
Here's
Yeah,
the,
and
here's
they're
the
part
thing.
of two different
Here's-
series.
Josh, here's the thing. Are you ready for this? This is going to be a mind-blowing fact for you. If you have
Okay.
a video on YouTube that you want to watch, but you can't watch it right now, but you want to watch it later,
Wait, Matt, I think I know what
There's
you're
a-
about to say.
there's a save icon.
This.
there's a save icon, and you can add it to a playlist that's conveniently automatically created on your YouTube account called, are you ready for this? Watch later.
Yeah, but it's not as convenient as just having it always open in the next tab over.
Yeah, no, but
You're
it is
right,
though,
it's
because you
so
watch the
it's
things
so
in the order you want
inconvenient.
to watch them, and if you then decide you don't want to watch this anymore, you can remove it. And it's about managing what you have. To be fair, I watch the same videos over and over. Like, I think
Yeah.
I've been stuck in the
To be
breadtube,
fair, that
loop
logic
for like 2 weeks.
To be
The what?
fair, that same logic also would stipulate that I don't want to put anything in folders on my computer. I'll just have everything open on my desktop.
It's just more convenient that way, you know, Matt. You just know where it is then.
You just see everything. It's all
Okay,
right there.
I do have a lot of things on my desktop.
That is the thing I
as
was going to
well.
say. Josh does do that as well, but to be fair,
I
you look at his
can't
desktop
believe he
and it's
doesn't-
just...
It
like,
used
folder
to be
cover.
organized. It's not organized now. There is just I really need to clean that up.
I hate him.
Okay.
It's too much.
My desktop is practically empty. Like, I have the
don't-
recycle bin, I have a few separate things, and then I just have a whole load of folders.
Yeah, I got folders. I got
And
like,
it takes up like a small corner of my
games.
It takes up a small corner of my desktop. That's it.
Okay, well, but that's the thing though. I tend to use a lot more programs than you do.
And guess
But why
what?
not? But why not group them together in folders?
Group them together in folders and then open them all at once.
Because like, if you have a whole load
I
of
can
programs,
have but then I can
that
just have
are
a
of a
section
specific
of the
thing.
desktop allocated for like specific types of programs, another section allocated for another type, and that's
But
what it used to be.
But here's the thing: instead of sections, you could just put them in folders.
I want to point
Okay,
out,
but
Josh,
if there's-
that's incredibly
They can easily fit
inefficient
into sections,
because
and
you
Sorry?
you can go in if you make like a folder for them and then you highlight them
Yeah.
all and hit enter. You'll never guess what happens. They all open.
no, I don't want that though.
well, why not? You said you
I
want.
don't want them to all open.
Okay, then make a folder for the ones you want open when you do projects, and then boom.
I know. I never really want to have like more than a couple of them open at a time. But I have a few different, like quite a few different ones.
Then
that I
have a
would
folder
use.
that you have open and takes up like a corner of your screen that you can close and get rid of, and then use that space for other things.
Like,
Whatever else you're using, you have 2 monitors. How much space could you need?
no, I don't need the
Don't
space. That's the
underestimate
point.
Josh's
What's-
ability to
there's no
cover
point-
up his desktop with banal and meaningless tabs that have no real relevance, but they're still there. And he
Okay, but
added
what's
them
the point
like
in
4
putting
years
them in?
ago.
What's the point in putting the programs in the folders if
Organize.
I don't actually
it
need the
clears your
space?
mental space.
It's like turning around. It's Josh. It's like turning around and saying, "Why do I have to clear up my desk? Why can't I just have bits of paper everywhere?"
Well, no, it's not though, because if you have a lot of stuff on your desk, but everything is in an allocated location and it's always in that location,
But it's messy.
like it's
There's no
No.
space then left on your
Josh,
desk.
I'm not a neat freak.
To do what?
Right? But I have my desktop like organized because that way, whenever things do need to change, I don't need to make a fundamental change to the entire process. I can just go into the modular areas that I've made for things and change them there. It means that grand scale change doesn't actually have to be grand scale.
But also it means
that's
you
what
can
I
find.
used to have.
But also it
'Cause
means you can
I
find
have
something
those
very
specific
specific very
areas.
quickly. Like if you to use the analogy of pages on a desk, if you need to then suddenly find a very specific page and everything's just strewn across the desk, then
Yeah.
it's very difficult to find that specific page.
This is
and
the
it-
exact
and-
argument I just made.
No, the opposite is being made here. Matt's saying if everything's organized, you don't look, you just find. You know where it is.
That's
So-
exactly
so-
what I said.
so
If
for
your
ins-
desk is organized and you have everything in a specific
Your
location,
desktop is not organized.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
agree,
now.
Josh. If
It
it's
used to
organized,
be.
yeah.
Okay, but that's an argument for making it organized. That's
Yeah.
what we're arguing for. You're just saying no. If it was organized, it would be
So
fine. And then we're saying
basically-
organized, and you're saying no.
So basically, Josh just argued
What is
that
going
being
on
organized.
here?
So
It used
Josh's
to be
argument
organized.
so hang on, let me
It
get this straight.
currently isn't.
Josh's argument was, listen, okay, I used to be organized, and that was fine being organized, and I think that organized is being good, but I'm not now. It's like, yes, if you are organized, everything's fine. But what we're saying is, why can't you go back to being organized? Because it's helpful.
Yeah, I'm saying I should.
Okay, then there we go. We're in agreement.
Right, we're in agreement. You should close all of those tabs, and you should organize your desktop. Done. Easy.
Yes, I should.
Like,
And while we're
Yeah.
on the topic of it, turn those PC boxes you have on Pokemon Alpha Sapphire and organize them, you goddamn degenerate.
No, I absolutely refuse.
That's where he draws the line.
Yes.
I'm mad, right? Because we've been playing, well, not recently, but over the past 6 months or so, predominantly in the first no, hang on, we started in April.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to start.
Yeah, we
another
started
one
a
soon.
while ago.
Basically, me and Josh were playing Pokemon, and we were doing a gym at a time, and we were training up and then battling. And I collect all of the Pokemon like a normal person. It's in the name. And they have a nice organized box where each Pokemon has an allocated spot, and it's all numbered and organized in evolutionary trees. And then Josh sits there and goes, "Oh yeah, I've got 6 Talos for no reason. One of them's called Flap. It's level 4. I don't use it, and I don't know where it goes."
It has a spot.
He has a bunch of joke Pokemon that he sends me when we trade because he knows I hate it because I get stuck with them.
Exactly.
And then,
Literally, like,
oh,
with
I
my-
get too mad.
with my desktop, like, I just have stuff like, so for instance, I have like a folder for my modules for my courses at uni, and then I have them by year, and then by term, and then by module. If I had to find a very specific lecture from one of my modules in last year, how the hell would I find it if it was just everything was strewn across my desktop?
Matt, you've just encouraged me to make something slightly more organized.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, we have a podcast. Not we. I have a podcast document because I upload them onto.
I thought you were just going to finish that. We have a podcast. Really, Lewis? I hadn't noticed.
No, I have a podcast
all these
document on my
recording
computer
sessions.
that's it's got all the podcast related things. And I have a live show section, and then I have a finished products ready for uploaded on my recordings. But a minute ago, I had all the recordings laid out in like a line in the live shows section. Well, now, no, I've made a folder for it because it takes like half a second, and it shouldn't be this hard to get someone to organize their goddamn desktop.
I think we've killed Josh over that enough now.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I think he's.
I
learned
was
his
never
lesson. Haven't you,
defending.
Josh?
I was never defending having an unorganized desktop.
No, but you weren't going to change it.
Who said?
You.
And
When
the
did
fact that
I
you
said
have
I
it-
wasn't going to change
Your
it?
general attitude to life. You're really disappointing me and your
it was-
mother.
It wasn't that you ever said that you weren't going to change it. It's the fact that it's been disorganized for at least as long as I can remember since being at uni, and you haven't done anything about it. You have a problem, Josh. This is an intervention.
I'm sure. I need help. I need to go to rehab. I need to go to desktop organization.
Can we just say that that's the title of the episode now? The desktop intervention.
We can say that.
Sure.
That doesn't make it true.
I'm saying it is. It's an intervention. Josh, you have a problem. We need
This
to
is the
close down these
unofficial
tabs,
episode title.
and we need to sort out this desktop.
Yeah.
So now that we've
Lewis, would you agree?
Now that we've sufficiently, raked Josh over the coals, I want to get back to my Dishonored 2 comment because it also links back to some feedback I've had on The Witcher. So I feel like I got a lot. Listen, I'm really good at these segues.
You're fantastic, even.
I didn't actually notice. That was incredible.
I know.
What segue?
Exactly. What segue?
I didn't feel jolted out of a conversation at all.
Well, we've Matt agreed that we've sufficiently raked you over these coals, and you need time
It's
to
true.
stew. I'll contact your brother, and I'll get him to come in and delete those files, and then they'll give you a fresh start.
You see, that's not a solution to the problem. That's just deleting files.
Well, now that you don't
It's
have
not
any-
organizing it. That's just getting rid of it.
Well, if it's in the recycling bin,
Think of it as a blank
What?
slate.
That's not a good idea.
speaking
You know,
of clean slates, New Game Plus, that's a clean slate.
That one now. That's
It's also not, though.
It is, though, in Dishonored 2, because it deletes all of your powers.
Does it?
What?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Back.
Why?
We're finally on this topic.
I was going to say, yeah, there we go. Segue completed.
Segue completed. Half
Challenge
an hour ago,
challenge
I tried to do
completed.
this. I'm going to do it now. So here's how Dishonored 2 works for a new game. You have to do the first level where you have no powers. You then you get to your ship, the Dreadful Whale, and you can now allocate all of your skill points,
Hmm.
and you have access to
Yeah.
every skill in the game, all of them,
Okay.
which is great. It's perfect,
Yeah.
even. And
Do you
also,
gain skill points in the same way then? Or do you just get a load at the start?
any that you've previously collected over prior runs are re-given to you. You don't get your bone charms back, but you
Okay.
do get all of your like runes.
Okay.
Now, I think Dishonored 2 has one of the best new games known to man, and is ruined by its game design.
Oh. Why exactly?
So, I'm a critic, as we can tell. I've got 8 YouTube series. I'm like the Joseph Anderson of this podcast.
That's the connection you're drawing out of
Yeah.
any you could have possibly chosen.
I like Joseph Anderson. I think he's a swell dude.
I like his not review.
Honestly,
Are they reviews?
out of any comparison
Critiques,
you were
yeah.
going to make,
That's
I
the
was not
word.
expecting that one.
Yeah, no, I'm a writer who also critiques video games for a living. I don't do either of those, though. I do write a bit, but I don't, not for a living. So
How's the universe
not
building
yet.
coming along, Lewis?
how's what going?
The universe building.
Oh, the universe building, pretty good. I got some names for some stories. Not going to share them. But let's get back to Dishonored 2, because that's what's really important here.
No, we
Okay,
need to
okay,
stall
sorry,
the
I
Dishonored
sidetracked
2
you.
conversation for as long as possible.
Okay, all right, no, it's fine. So
No,
Dishonored,
no.
in Dishonored,
Carry on, yeah.
you play the game through, and every time you can pick up new things. You know what I'm talking about. New runes, and
Yeah.
you can like delete the current bone charms you have, and then you can remake them. This is the
Yeah.
best decision they ever made, because on a second playthrough, it means you have all of your previously found bone charms unlocked, but you have to make them. So on your third playthrough, let's say you have everything unlocked. Now you've got a bunch of whale bone. Well, you can now make loads of bone charms. So you still get stronger as you go along because it puts your starting position higher. And it
Yeah.
means that you can have very elaborate builds because you can make anything you want, pretty much. It's a fun new game experience. You know what isn't a fun new game experience?
Tell me.
Having to play the first and seventh level every time.
Yeah,
Because the
The
problem
first
is
level, you
what?
have no powers. So
it's true.
it's just playing the first level again, and it's kind of boring. Like,
Yeah.
once is pretty good. It sets the tone of the world. It gives you time to simmer in the stakes. But
I
the
did quite
second
enjoy it.
time, whew, not fun.
And the third?
And the third time, even worse. But level 7 is kind of more insulting in a way, because level 1 is designed for you to not have powers. And it's so it has a pretty easy run through. You can sort of like, if you know the path, you can just sprint through it basically. And on subsequent playthroughs, you almost always do your low chaos first and then your high chaos, because it's more fun that way.
Mhm.
But the 7th level is the most insulting, like, gameplay decision known to man.
Which level is this then?
Have either of you played Dishonored 2?
Not a minute.
I have played it. I haven't finished it.
Have you done the time warp level?
Yes.
I hate that level with a passion. I loved it the first time. The second time I hated it. And the third time I wanted to put my head through a spike.
I must say,
Damn.
like, first time
That ain't
playing it,
good.
I did enjoy it.
That's it. There's nothing else.
That was it.
Well,
That was it. It sounded like something
Yeah.
was going somewhere. Okay.
Well, no, you're saying you enjoyed it first time. Like, I agree.
It's such
It's fun.
It is. I think I would say it's like the second or third best level in that game, and that's. I mean, maybe that's not high praise because there's not many levels, but the game is a really solid game. Like in terms of gameplay, the story is less solid, but its gameplay is fantastic. So, Matt, here's the gimmick of the level.
Okay.
You can jump between 2 points in time. One where the mansion is being used, and one where it's decrepit.
By the way, if you hear rustling, I've just decided to grab a little bit of the fudge from Niagara Falls to munch on a little bit because it's really good.
Oh my! I wish I had some fudge.
I bought fudge.
What is happening right now?
Damn.
I
He's
bought
having
fudge,
fudge.
so I'm having some fudge. You got a problem with me eating fudge? It's fudge.
I feel like I'm
saying
having
fudge
a stroke. Like none of this is happening. I'm trying to talk about Dishonored, and I'm just being disrespected.
Look, this is really, really good fun.
It's so good. It's so worthwhile. So, Matt, the point is you can jump between 2 points in time, and you use it to solve some puzzles, and you can do things in the past that have ramifications in the future. It's really good. It's very good fun. Highly recommend it. But it strips your powers away.
Ah.
So you can't teleport, you can't stop time, you can't, what are some other ones? You can't domino, you can't link, can't summon rats, can't tempest blast, none of that. Which means new game playthroughs are the same as original playthroughs. And it takes pretty much the same amount of time, and nothing's new about it. It's the same thing every time. With no power increase, nothing. I hate it.
It would have been cool if they just went, well, okay, you've already completed the base game.
Have some,
let's just allow you to use all of your powers.
If they'd done that, I think it would have been a fantastic level. A new mechanic that you can also... You have 2-time powers then if you're playing New Game, because you can stop time and you can travel back through time. And it would be really interesting if you could freeze time in the present, walk around in the past, and then pop out in a freeze time.
Yeah.
Should apologise.
That would be cool.
So if I ever go silent for no reason, that's why.
How dare you?
How dare I be sick?
You can't be sick. You're not allowed to be.
So
he doesn't get sick.
I don't get sick. I'm not sick.
Actually, that's true. Lewis, out of all of us, doesn't get sick.
I'm not notorious for anything. I don't have a failing immune system. I don't.
It's true.
So the new game is like perfect, apart from those 2 levels.
Okay.
You know what new game isn't perfect? The Witcher. This was my last complaint about The Witcher, other than Act 3 is garbage. But I mean, like, frankly, if you play it, you'd know that. So this is the one that really... It's such a minor, insignificant complaint. Because I've never done a new game playthrough, and I'm going to explain why.
Sounds like the exact kind of complaint Lewis would make.
There's not... Because I can't new game twice in a row, I refuse to new game.
Wait, so it only has one new game?
Yeah, you can new game once, but you can't new game twice.
Oh. That seems... Why?
Because they don't want to
Just
keep scaling gear. Which I understand.
Okay.
But the reason I wanted to do this was because the ending of Blood and Wine has multiple endings, shockingly. And I wanted to do it all in like one playthrough by using the same gear. So I do like a Triss. What I'm going to describe as the bad options. So I pick Triss as the romance option. I let Ciri die. Spoilers. I let Ciri disappear and you never see her again, which is actually what happens.
Okay.
And I let someone die, and I'm like, I'm fine with this person dying in Blood and Wine. I don't care. And then I get arrested.
Yeah,
so I want to do that playthrough, and then I want to do like a Pretty Alright playthrough, where I do the okay decisions. Oh yeah, also with each of these playthroughs, I'm picking up a different reward from Gaunter O'Dim. Because Gaunter O'Dim has 5 rewards.
Okay.
And I want to pick up all of them. I want to make Uber Geralt.
Yeah.
And it doesn't let me. And I'm so put off doing it. I want to be able to get the infinite food, infinite alcohol, better saddle, all of that stuff. Yeah. And it refuses to let me. I'm going to stab Matt in the throat in a minute.
Sorry, I was getting some Tic Tacs as well. You're welcome. Everyone, I bet, is loving this food.
You ate before we started.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna go
yeah.
get a fizzy drink as well. I think that would be really good for the podcast.
I bet everyone's loving this food ASMR episode right now.
But it's not food ASMR, it's like crinkling wrapper ASMR.
Yeah, the Tic Tac.
Oh,
Oh my god.
That's gonna get cut. That's absolutely getting cut. That is loud
No, we're
and
leaving it in.
obnoxious.
No, I'll leave it in.
One of you is wrong
Wait,
here.
wait. Why is Josh saying leave it in? He gets to decide.
I'm
true.
making the
I had it.
executive. I'm using my veto powers. I have them.
You
You
can't.
Oh god, here we go.
You can re-edit it if you want.
All right, I'll do it.
Okay. Sure.
Just gonna get an email from Lewis or like a message on Discord from Lewis in like 2 days, being like, Josh, you know you love me. Can you just can you do this for me?
Hey, Josh, you
Yeah.
really owe me a favor.
For what?
You know,
I don't.
You know the thing.
the thing.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
It happened ages ago. You might not remember.
Yeah, it was an unknown thing that occurred.
It was before we met. It was before we met at secondary school. It was a thing I did for you. So
You know when I saved your life that one time? I'm claiming the law of surprise.
Okay, you're claiming the law of surprise, are you?
I am.
Okay, I'm just gonna like. Okay, fine. I'm gonna What are those like? Okay, you know,
I'm
like
not
you
claiming
have
it
in the
yet. I'm
arcades.
just saying that that's what I want. So I'm going to come back in like
Oh,
5 years, and then I'm going to take something that you have.
God dang it! I was gonna get one of those random toy machines that you get at arcades. I was just gonna give you that
It doesn't work
since
like
I don't
that,
know what
you
it's
know
gonna
it.
buy.
I keep saying
I don't
a bunch
actually
of
know
complaints
how it
about the law of
works.
surprise. It's really simple. If
Okay.
Matt, have you watched more of The Witcher?
hang on.
How is he going? He's doing a podcast. Like, how is I? Was this
No, sorry,
grossly unreasonable?
Hang on, wait. No, my Tic Tacs were inopportunely shaped in my mouth that didn't allow me to speak. No, I mean, like when you have Tic Tacs in your mouth, you have to put them behind your teeth so that you can actually talk without having the Tic Tacs rummaging around inside your mouth and then control.
I just don't eat on a podcast.
Okay. Actually, I was going to talk to you about that though, because like The Witch. Yeah, I just started The Witcher on Netflix. Would highly recommend it. I've watched the first episode, and I am eager to watch more, but I've only seen the first episode. One thing I would say though that I did find interesting that I saw on a movie TV podcast I listened to recently, which was because they were basically comparing a show I haven't seen, which is The Mandalorian, to The Witcher, in terms of the fact that one decided to appease the bingers of the world and release all the episodes at once, and one decided to do it weekly. So which do you think you generally prefer?
Yeah, I'd prefer to be able to binge it.
Now, for the general part, I would say weekly.
Yeah.
But at least, well, actually, no. Binging, if you're watching it by yourself when you know you're not going to talk to anyone else about it. But weekly, if you know that as a community of people, you're going to be watching it together. Like if you have friends or whatever, or forums or whatever, and you're all going to be watching it together and talking about it. Weekly, I think is better. Because then
I think
you have
we talk
then you
about
have-
TV
yeah.
shows on this podcast. We do not watch things at the same time.
we don't.
I finished The Witcher like 3 days after it came out because I had like a bunch of time off and I went to see family and like, all right, well, you know, on the way there, I'm going to watch The Witcher.
Because that's the thing. With weekly, you watch one episode a week and everyone else is at the same point. Everyone else is on board at the same point.
Yeah.
Unless you joined late, in which case you have to catch up. But
This is why me and Josh put a limit on how far we allowed each other to go while playing Pokemon. We said, we go up to this gym at this exact point. You don't go any further. You do whatever you want, you just can't battle further. So you can't like hit high level Pokemon. So we knew what we were going to be doing. And for that reason, I suggest we play The Witcher one quest at a time.
Oh no.
Good
No. That would be awful.
It would take, if we were to do it week by week, it would take us about 2 years.
That's insane.
ow.
And obviously we would have to do all of the side quests.
No.
Oh, God.
Wait, what do you mean
Just main
no?
quests.
That's like the game.
To be fair,
play 2 years
it
of The
is, Josh.
Witcher.
To be fair, the problem is sometimes you have to do side quests that feed into the main campaign.
There are no side quests that feed into the main campaign. He's lying.
The Red Baron is labelled as a side quest, isn't it?
Technically, yes, but it's not.
Thank you. My point has been made.
Matt, the main quest is find a Ciri. That's all it says. It says find Ciri in Velen, which is coincidentally like the bloody Baron quest is the main quest in Velen.
Still, it's a side quest.
But you have to do it. It's not a side quest.
It was labelled as a side quest.
It's
so
mandatory.
therefore, I'm saying it's a side quest.
Okay, I'd like. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're now instead of whatever you were planning on doing.
I'm actually properly pissed off, Lewis.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play the game, and you're not gonna do that quest, and I'm gonna do it, and let's see whoever finishes the game. Your technicalities mean nothing to me.
I feel like that might be Lewis's quote of the year. Your technicalities mean nothing to me.
My technicalities, though, they mean everything.
Was
Yeah,
it
they do,
actually
to be fair.
labelled as a side quest?
Yes, it's labeled as a side
Yeah,
quest.
yeah, no, it is. It
You
is.
see, that's another annoying point about, like,
It's really
The-
clear.
the-
No,
like,
it's
the
really clear
quests,
which ones you
though.
have to do to go on a straight line.
is it okay?
Basically,
I mean,
if
I
a
didn't
side
get
Like
very
quest,
far, but
Ciri,
that
you know
was-
you're in the right area.
well, if they mention a main character, or if the side quest starts taking forever, then you're thinking, oh, okay, this must be part of the main quest.
I want to talk about my favourite quest in The Witcher because I just remembered it, and I'm never going to be able to talk about it again if I don't do it right now.
Which is,
The Gwent quest.
Okay.
oh my
Gwent
god,
quest?
Well, there's loads of Gwent quests, but the main side quest that involves Gwent of you must play in a tournament to win money is the best side quest in the game.
Do you remember
'Cause
when
you
Gwent
just
started
get
to
to play
become
Gwent.
bigger than Hearthstone?
It was never bigger
Did
than
it?
Hearthstone.
Well, okay, maybe not, but I do remember a lot of people.
I was
I
in the
was
beta
talking-
for Gwent. Played like twice.
I remember a lot of people talking about actually playing Gwent more than they were playing like other card games, or like they would play Witcher just to play Gwent.
I may have done my second playthrough for that exact purpose.
Oh my god, I knew it.
I missed some cards on the first way around. They were at the top. They were at the party, and I didn't play Gwent there because I wasn't interested at the time.
So have you won a tournament in the game then?
I won the tournament. I won the party. I got all of them. I collected every card.
Well done. I'm very proud of you, Lewis.
You should be.
I should I?
Yeah,
It's your greatest life achievement.
it's my greatest. Well, no, it's not quite actually.
No?
No,
What's your greatest life achievement?
but I got Matt to come to this for like 6 weeks.
That's pretty good
That
achievement.
is an
Oh, actually,
achievement,
talking of
honestly.
His
achievements,
mother couldn't do that.
yeah, but then again, my mum can't make me do a lot of things. So
I want to point out, my mum can get me to do damn near anything because I trust and respect her.
oh wow.
I call Matt out like that.
Oh dear.
Oof.
Talking of achievements, talking of accomplishments and achievements, though, related back to the first Disconnected, I do have to bow down to you as now the achievement Lord Supreme.
Oh yeah,
as
bow down to me.
Yeah. You have now completed Spider-Man. I have nothing to hold over you now. So
It's true, you don't. Unless you beat one before me.
I just remember listening to the podcast and like within the first 5 minutes, you were like, "I'm really annoyed that Matt isn't here because I can't tell him that I've completed Spider-Man."
I
now."
know. It was like the worst week for you to not turn up.
I was listening to it and I was like, damn, he's done it now.
Yeah, I have. It took me like 2 days. I was really proud of myself.
What do you think then?
Have you got any criticisms of what I said about it? Because I said a lot about Spider-Man.
Oh god, yeah, you were talking about.
I was pretty
I'm trying
harsh
to remember
on
now.
that, frankly.
Oh well, Josh said that he hated the dive effect, which I think can be a little jarring. But what I would say
I never
is that
used
it's,
it.
It doesn't give you a sense of speed. It just
well, no, I think
it just
it's,
does a
No,
just
I
like,
think
blur
the way.
lines.
No. Listen, I think the way you fix it is you can only activate it from a certain height. Because if you activate the dive effect from quite a high height, I think it's fine. It works
If you do
fairly
it from
well.
Avengers Tower, you feel it.
Yeah, you feel it. The problem is if you are in mid-swing and you are barely 30 feet off the ground and you activate the dive effect, it doesn't. It's jarring because it's supposed to make you look like you're falling at like terminal velocity, and when in reality you've only been falling for like half a second.
Okay, I guess when you've already been falling for like a second, then maybe it looks a bit better.
I would say if you're a certain height, then you can activate it.
It's the sudden change in speed, because it's like it just pushes you down.
That's the thing. I think if as Lewis was saying, if you jump off of the Avengers Tower or the Empire State Building and you're falling and then you activate it, it's not really that jarring at all. It's fairly seamless. As you say, the problem is if, say, you're mid-swing and you're completely like vertical, and then you, as in vertical, as in like your head is up, and you're going through the air, and then you activate it, and then you go dive immediately, and there's just a complete switch, or like instantly. It is jarring. I'll grant you that.
Mm.
As far as the movement mechanics, though, I don't think there's too much to complain about. I think it's probably up there with Spider-Man 2 as one of the best swinging Spider-Man games ever, in terms of like, the feel for swinging around NYC.
I get the impression
really
you didn't listen to my criticisms of Spider-Man.
I'm trying to remember what else you said. Hang
It
on.
was it's so clunky.
You said it was repetitive.
Yes, I said that.
And the combat you weren't really that big of a fan of.
The problem is it's way too easy, and then it's way too hard.
And that and the crimes. You hated the fact that there were so many crimes as well.
I liked it at first, and they just got really repetitive.
No, I agree. You do realise, though, that there's
15 per district.
I was going to say, there's 15 per district. I didn't realise. I thought they were randomly generated. I didn't realise there were actually 15 per district until the end of the game, and then went around doing all of them.
Well, I did them as soon as they were unlocked. Like, I'm getting really sick of this illness, by the way. I basically
it's going to be disconnected again.
I'm going to be dead.
Just with Matt.
Because like, what would happen is I would see. Oh, I've got some new thing I can do. I can go and catch the pigeons, which is a dumb side quest.
Yeah, no, that is the pigeons one is really annoying.
Pigeons were annoying. The crimes were tedious and boring and took ages to spawn. The science facilities pretty much boiled down to run around and like swing into things, and that was about it, or like break something.
But then the problem is, for the most part, that is literally what a Spider-Man game is. Because really, what can you do with Spider-Man? He's in
better crimes. Do better crimes.
I mean, the only way you get around it is because like the thing is that either really you can only either do quality or quantity. To be fair, I'd probably go with quality, yeah. Because either you do loads and loads of stuff you could do in the city, or you do a few things, but they're really in depth.
They just had nothing to offer after I did like. I think the problem was that the thug crimes were pretty much the same as the saber crimes, which were pretty much the same as the prisoner escape crimes. They were just skinned differently. It probably would have been fine if it was 5 in each district, but each thing had a different sort of theme going on.
Yeah, or a different way you had to fight them.
But the problem is they never saved a civilian.
No. Oh, actually, no, apart from if there's a car wreck.
Yeah, I guess there's a car wreck. I wanted to save more civilians. I want to feel like I'm helping people, not just abstractly solving crimes.
Sorry, I just remembered the meme from, do you remember the Spider-Man 3 game at the start when you're in the building and the woman's on the chair strapped with the bomb and you have to jump and jump with her out the building, and it's like what do you call it?
A quick time event.
That's it. It's a quick time event, and you have to press the button in time. And like most of the time, it's a case if they just restart you if you don't press it, or it's either that or the game just keeps playing even if you don't press it. But with this one, it's just so funny. Do you remember it? Because like if you don't press it, he just falls flat on his face, and the woman goes, "I'm going to die," and then the building.
Oh, I do remember that. I do remember that.
It's so good because it's like, "I'll save you, face blood. I'm going to die." Boom.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that gets me every time. I used to play the game and do that on repeat and purposely not press the button just because it was so funny.
The timing with that is really good.
It's just perfectly timed.
And of course, there's the big thing to mention is the Taskmaster challenges
Ah, the
are
task
the
management
worst
challenge.
designed element of that game.
Yeah, no, I mean, for me, it's the time trial stuff with the circles you have to get through. Those really annoy
they
me.
were brutal. Did you
They
gold
were
them all?
so brutal.
So I got gold on every single one of those challenges, just so someone couldn't sit there and say, like, oh, they weren't that bad. You didn't do them all, right? I did them all. I did them all correctly.
I got so vexed having to try to do all of those blooming time trials for Taskmaster. I was like, for the love of sweet holy Mother Jesus.
You just can't mess it up. You have to pretty much do it perfectly.
You literally have to do it perfectly. And it's so difficult. Because the problem is that with those sort of time trial things, like the movement for Spider-Man in that game, it's great, it's fluid, it's nice, it's
but it isn't
quick
precise.
Motion. It isn't precise. It is in no way precise.
So
and the
you then
problem
have
is
to
for
web
those
zip everywhere. That's the only way to
everywhere.
do it. Web zip.
Well, you have. Oh no. It's WebZip. Do you mean like when you freeze time and then you can like zip to like a grapple point or whatever?
Well, the freezing time was always a pain because it was unresponsive. I found it was just easier to just like L2R, so L1R1, just to a point, and then immediately press X to jump off and do it again because it would give you so much momentum. It basically cheats the momentum system because it would pretty much put you on max momentum at all times.
Yeah, but the problem is you have to make sure that you grapple to the exact right mount to go through the ring.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you lose any momentum and you stop,
you're barely going to make it. If like you have to, it's too harsh.
It's far too harsh.
That's it.
Like that's the problem. If you're going
the stealth challenges were too easy
that,
though, and there was that.
The stealth challenges were fine, but like if you're going to do a time trial system like that, the movement system has to be very, very precise, and the game just wasn't that. Like, that's not like to discredit the movement system.
No, the movement system was really good. When
it was really good, but it's just not. It just doesn't fit that kind of a game mode.
I like it. A lot of these criticisms about Spider-Man are almost the same as Just Cause 3, which is like, don't make me do all these tedious side things for like no reason.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Also, the gadgets were kind of garbage. Like most of them did nothing, and then some of them did everything. Like, Spider-Drone was overpowered.
Yeah, I was going to say... so you're talking about the ultimate powers? Or...
No, I'm talking about just the gadgets you can throw out. You have 4 Spider-Drones.
Oh, right.
And then at the end of the game, you get so many so fast that you just keep spamming them.
Do you know what the thing was? I barely ended up using them.
I didn't use them until the mid-game, and I'm like, these just deal with sabers as if they don't exist.
Because the thing is, you don't really need to use them.
I don't know. Those saber challenges were obnoxious. Do 6 waves of fight saber. Like, I did it on hardest difficulty. I'm going to kill myself.
Oh, no. 6 waves of saber was fine. Like, the combat system, I never really found it difficult.
Matt,
like,
please tell me you played on the hard one.
I'm fairly sure I did. Like, the combat, I never really found that difficult, to be honest.
It got so obnoxious when you just get hit by a rocket randomly.
You could just throw them back, though.
You can throw them back, but there's just too many things going on. You want to clear them quickly.
Well, I just constantly dodge, and you can just dodge and dodge and dodge and dodge, and you can like because one of the great things is like once you get to there's that specific skill you can unlock where if you perfectly time a dodge, you automatically web the guy in the face.
Yeah.
So the really good thing is you could just fly in and then dodge everyone, web everyone up, and so they can't
problem
attack.
Is that takes a really long time to have them all attack you. And you're still going to get shot a bit.
Well, not if they're big enough. Not if they're a big enough group and it's on a high enough difficulty. I found that it didn't really take that long. That and with the way the Spider-Man combat works, in the way that it's kind of similar to the Arkham one, you can chain together a combo so quickly, and then
combo doesn't increase damage though.
No, it doesn't increase damage. But what it does do is that it either enables you to do like a 2-button press automatic down one enemy, or
that was broken. Once you get that skill where you can do that twice, you win the game.
Yeah, you win the game. But not only that, but also
I just lost the game.
It's either that, or you can heal yourself with that. That's what really broke it for me. Is the fact that
the healing was like nothing.
The fact that you can heal yourself so much from just comboing together.
It just started taking too long when you got to that, though. That was my problem with it. It was like...
It took forever to do it, but it's not like I found it too difficult. It
No,
was
but
just
that's
repetitive.
I think that's the difference between you and I, is that to me, I went full aggressive because I didn't want to spend 20 minutes fighting the same group of enemies 6 times over.
Oh, right.
So
okay.
I was just you know what? I'm never gonna heal. I'm gonna dodge everything I can, and I'm gonna slam these guys into the ground.
Oh no, I would go long game. Because I don't know. I'd go for the long game. I would literally just swing in there, and then I would just keep dodging, and I would just keep comboing, and healing, and just literally attrition war them.
You forget I was under a time limit. I had to do it before the next episode. I didn't have that long. I had 3 days.
I had the luxury of the summer.
Yeah, you had the luxury of the. I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't have enjoyed. I probably would have done it at roughly the same speed. It isn't the kind of thing I could have played for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And the stealth sections,
Stealth sections are so goddamn easy.
they're boring.
They're boring, yes, but they're so easy.
Listen, I don't care if it's easy if I don't like it.
Do you know what's really broken with the stealth sections? If you get the skill boost that boosts the range of your stealth attack, because you know that when you're on a ledge, if you're near enough, you can press square and you'll stealth attack them. But if they're not close enough, you have to press triangle.
I think you've misunderstood when I said stealth. I mean the Miles and Mary Jane missions.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. The MJ missions. Oh no, those are just dull.
Yeah, the Rhino one's pretty alright.
The Rhino one's alright. My main problem is that they give you no clear path, and I
got lost. I came out and I'm walking around.
I kept getting lost so much.
A wall over there.
I just kept getting killed by rhinos so much. But yeah, with the MJ ones, it was just they were not interesting in the slightest.
You can literally sprint through them though. I think they know that they're bad, so the enemies don't care.
The only one that I found vaguely interesting is the one where you're in Grand Terminal Station and Spider-Man's with you. You can call him in.
I didn't like that one because it kind of just felt like press square on every enemy that you can and then wait until.
Oh no! That's the thing. Yeah, that I liked it because it meant that level was over so much more quickly. Because you could just web everyone up because it would just be they're split off from the main group. They're now alone. Right, fantastic.
That level actually took me the longest because it's the one that you can't cheese.
Oh, honestly, I took it. It was so quick for me because all you do is you go behind cover and you wait until they split up. And
I know how the level works, but because the way I did the other levels, I would just hold R2 and press forwards. Nothing would ever see you, and you beat the level. Right, but with that one, you actually have to get into cover and play it normally because it's pretty much a straight line of how to play it. There's no I'm going to abuse the fact that the AI is kind of garbage.
Oh no, I didn't tend to do that.
The differences in how we play.
Yeah, you try to speedrun it and try and run through everything as quick as you can.
If I'm bored, I don't want to play it. I'm going to try and abuse it, even if it takes longer.
Yeah, I just tend to just war of attrition my way through these sort of games because I know if I just stay still, usually it'll just be absolutely fine. If you outweight the enemy,
I never want to play Spider-Man again.
If you outweight the AI will screw up and will just start dispersing, and then they'll just all be separate, and then you can just all take them down in 5 seconds. Literally, that's what I used to do with the Arkham games. Is literally all you do is you just wait until they split up because they just will split up, and then once they split up, literally all you do is just glide down, knock out you, go to this one, knock out you, go to this one, knock out you, and even if it's the game starts to try to be clever, for instance, 2 guys will go back to back to each other, and if they're one of the last few left, all you have to do is literally just go above them and then just throw a smoke grenade down, and then you can just take them both down. The smoke grapple back up, and then everyone else is none the wiser. Imagine
if this game was on PC and you were actually allowed to control the webs. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I said it on Original Disconnected. Would have been better.
That would be good.
If you could, yeah, but how could you control the webs?
We've been through this because we've played the Attack on Titan tribute game.
Oh right, that was so difficult. I couldn't get that.
But you would get to grips with it.
I guess I get the thing.
It wouldn't be too bad. Also, remember that the buildings weren't very high in Attack on Titan.
The builds were not very high, and the game wasn't that well developed. And I think it's not probably one of those things that's really intuitive. That was probably one of the things that was really good about the movement system with the most recent Spider-Man game is the fact that it was so intuitive. but with the Attack on Titan game, it wasn't. Like, I just think
It hits a different like itch. You don't play as Spider-Man as much. You learn how to be Spider-Man.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I didn't play the game that long, and if I'd played it longer, and if it had been better developed, and if it had been built by a studio like the one that built the latest Spider-Man game, I can't remember what the name of the studio was.
Insomnia.
That was it.
It did Ratchet and Clank.
Yes, they did. If it had been built by them, it probably would have been better. But yeah, no, that could have been interesting as a Spider-Man game, potentially.
I would like the more precise control. I think that would be more fun.
Maybe.
I think that's more of what I would want to get out of a Spider-Man game, is actually like having fun with the movement.
Which do you think out of these two would be an easier game to actually make a good game out of? An Iron Man game or a Superman game?
Superman where?
It's tricky. Yeah.
Okay, let's say
Superman where? Where is Superman?
Oh, where?
Let's say both in New York.
I think you mean Metropolis.
Okay, fine. Iron Man New York or Superman Metropolis?
Probably Iron Man.
You reckon?
Well, Superman's a pretty hard guy to write for.
Just in terms of game mechanics.
I was going to say,
what would be more fun?
In terms of game mechanics,
probably still Iron Man because he's less powerful, which means the things that you should be able to do are less extreme. Like Superman should be able to crash through buildings, but that's annoying because you don't really want that because that's not what Superman would do and it'd kill a lot of people. Right, we're not Zack Snyder here, right? We're not allowing that to happen.
Hey,
and then you have to deal with the fact that
why did I feel like
ice and
I don't know why, but I did feel as soon as I mentioned Superman, that you were at some point going to rip Man of Steel.
Because Henry Cavill's been cheated out of 2 good Superman films, and I'm annoyed.
Honestly, I don't know how controversial this is. I like Man of Steel.
All right, you're ready to start a fight.
I do. I feel like that's going to have to be on another episode, though, because
we've got enough time for me to say what I need to say at very least, and that's enough for me.
Okay. You can at least vent yours.
Smallville was a better Man of Steel. There, I said it.
What? Smallville.
Wow, that's your premise.
Oh yeah, that's my argument. Smallville is better than Man of Steel. Less concise.
Damn.
I mean, I didn't.
But what they did with Zod was more
interesting
than what Zack Snyder did with Zod.
Okay, I'll agree with you that at points Zod is a bit problematic. Like, for instance, where they have you believe that Zod is so powerful that he can acclimatize to Earth's atmosphere and gravity and just general environment in like seconds, whilst it took Clark basically like 20 odd years.
Smallville has that issue too.
And the argument, I suppose, that the only argument that conceivably is Zod was bred to be a warrior, so therefore he was able to acclimatize his body quicker.
I mean, I guess you just state that Zod has been around yellow suns before, but he hasn't been in like a Goldilocks zone.
It's not just yellow suns. It's the fact that like so Clark had to hone his sound down because otherwise he could hear everything and it was deafening.
Yeah, I'm aware of all of this, but you also have to remember that yellow sun gives that power too. So it's provided that Zod had been around a yellow sun before, that wouldn't make a difference. He'd have been used to it. In the same way that when Clark loses his powers and gets them back, he doesn't forget.
Right, yeah.
Right, but let's ignore the Zod for a second. They have a better Clark Kent, a better Lois Lane, a better Jonathan Kent, a better Martha Kent. These core principles of Superman are so much better done in Smallville. Oh yeah, Jonathan Kent's just like, yeah, you shouldn't let the bus of people die because they would expose your secrets. Like, Jonathan Kent would have been like, you should have saved those people. That is a thing that you should have done, and it's good that you did that. You used your powers for selfless reasons and didn't expect any recognition in return.
No, the point of all of that, and the point of his dad being conflicted on whether or not he should have shaved, whether or not he should have saved the people in that bus, and the reason why he doesn't let him save him from the hurricane when he gets caught up in it is because his father doesn't think the world is ready for Superman.
That's such a dumb argument, though, because he still would believe in the inherent good in people, and he would want Clark to make that decision for himself. And if Clark believed that him saving people is worth something, then he should do it. Jonathan Kent would never sit there and say to Clark, "Don't save people." He'd say, "Save people, but just hide yourself. Keep yourself safe as well."
What I'm saying, I'm not saying it's necessarily the right idea.
I think it was the wrong idea. So no. The other Jonathan Kent is better.
What I'm saying is I don't necessarily agree with his father's point. I just think it's an interesting, contentious point to actually raise up in the movie.
But isn't Jonathan Kent, though?
Rather than his dad just being like, "Oh yeah, save everyone, go on, my boy, yeah." The fact that he was like, "I don't know if the world's ready for you. I don't know whether you should be really doing this sort of stuff," and the fact that he actually was a bit struggling with the nature of what his son, quote unquote, was capable of, I think that was an interesting point to make.
But there isn't time for that in like an origin story film. You can't have Jonathan Kent have some character dilemmas because he's a guiding force for it's like what, like 20 minutes of the film?
Well, I mean, he still is a guiding force. It's not that he doesn't believe in him.
No, but it's such a. It would have been easier and better for the film if Jonathan Kent had been seen as this paragon of good, because he isn't a paragon of good, but from Clark's perception, he needs to see those positive attributes of humanity. He needs to see that this is the kind of person you can aspire to be. His mum isn't what inspires him. His dad is what inspires him. His mum is just another form of guidance, right? But his dad is the one that he looks to as like his morality, because his dad was so like fixed on instilling that.
What do you think of I think it's in Batman v Superman that his mother says,
"Save Martha."
No. No. I mean,
very dumb.
Earlier in the movie, I think there's just to say with the Martha part, I think there is reasoning behind that. They could have just done it better. But
the film isn't very good and could have been infinitely better.
Well, I mean, they could have. I don't disagree with the whole save Martha angle.
And Batman's just like shooting people.
They could have done it better, but anyway, they could have executed that scene better. Anyway, but there's an earlier point in the movie where Clark's back home at the ranch with Martha, and I think she says something I'm paraphrasing probably, but I think she basically says something along the lines of, "You can save them all, Clark, or you don't have to save anyone. You don't owe this world anything." What do you think of that?
I think that's something that he knows. I don't think that's something Superman needs to be dealing with. See, Batman v Superman at its core is about a godlike figure like Superman being unhindered. Let's try this again. Uninhibited by government legislation and jurisdiction and just being there, and no one to like.
He's unaccountable.
He's unaccountable. No one could realistically stop him without a plan, and Batman doesn't like
because cough, Sokovia Accords, cough.
Because you have to consider that this is the Batman who retired for years and came back, and his villains were harsher and grittier and more brutal, and this is when Batman has to adapt to his new villains. So that's the Batman that deals with like the Superman crisis. He considers Superman a threat and a danger because he lives practically forever. He doesn't. He lives for a long time.
The Batman in the Batman v Superman film is The Dark Knight Returns and post Red Hood Batman. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, no, I know. Post, Jason Todd becoming a Red Hood and killing people, and Batman. And Dark Knight Returns comes back, and he's killing his villains because his villains are harsh.
Well, Jason Todd isn't back as Red Hood, but Jason Todd's being killed by Joker. Because, at one point, you see a glass case in the Batcave of Jason Hood's uniform that's been graffitied by the Joker.
But they're so fixed on Batman killing people in that film. Like, that's what makes Batman cool. And it's like, this is not the time. Like, this worked if you have had more exposure to Batman over time, but there's not enough time there. If you had 2 or 3 Batman films before then, and then you did Batman v Superman, and you were like, he needs to do, like, this is what's happened. The consequences of the last couple of films have really impacted Batman, and this is what he feels is the best way to go about things. And he considers Superman a representation of that.
It's fine if you want to have Batman be broken, but it doesn't have really that much impact unless you see the journey of him becoming broken. Like, the whole thing with the Dark Knight Returns angle, and the whole angle of him being older and grittier and now willing to screw criminals up and kill them, basically. The whole point of that is that, well, one of the main things is that, so you have the first Robin, which is Dick, and then he becomes...
you mean Dick Grayson? Just so that doesn't sound out of context.
Sorry, yeah, Dick Grayson, of the Flying Graysons. He's the first Robin. He then becomes, what's his name, Nightcrawler? No, hang on.
Nightcrawler, the teleporting blue man from X-Men.
Not Nightcrawler.
Nightwing.
Nightwing, that was it. Nightcrawler was the first thing that came to mind. He becomes Nightwing, and then Jason Todd becomes the second Robin. He ends up being killed by the Joker, but then he ends up coming back as a villain, and then he has to confront Batman, and Batman puts him away, because basically Jason ends up being like, why won't you kill... I'm not saying you have to kill everyone, but at least the Joker, why won't you kill him? And then Batman's Batman's response is, I could, but then I would turn into a serial killing, a homicidal maniac. Which is, reassuring to know that Batman's one synapse snap away from basically murdering half of Gotham.
Imagine for a second that that's a second film in a trilogy leading up to Batman versus Superman. Hell, it can even be like the last film in the series. Just there's 2 films. There's one way of Batman's being good, and then there's that one. And then, that leads to Batman v Superman, and then you can see how broken he is. But he takes inspiration from Superman, and he sees Superman's goodness, and they become friends like they are. They respect each other. They don't agree with each other's methods, but like they respect each other.
You could have a first Batman film which either starts with Dick Grayson as Robin, or maybe he's already Nightwing, and then you have Jason. And then, and you could have, maybe you could do like a first Batman movie, and then you have a second Batman movie with Jason, and then he dies, and then come back, and you could do the whole Red Hood angle, and that could be really interesting. And then, you could then have him be. Well, but the problem is though is the Dark Knight Returns doesn't really lead off from the Red Hood, because the problem is like with the Red Hood storyline, Batman still stays good after it.
It's not a direct adaptation, though. It's just like it takes inspiration
from...
because
the problem is that with the Red Hood storyline, Batman stays good after it. Because even after Jason's... because even after Jason's killed... there's 5, if you remember. There's 5 Robins. Because even after
There's
Jason's
too many
killed,
Robins. Honestly, Batman's probably a paedophile. That's all I'm going to say. At best, child endangerment.
Okay, that's... How old are the Robins?
They're like...
they're generally like young teenagers.
What?
They're boys.
Robin's not like an adult, Josh.
Well, I don't know. Jason's a bit younger than us.
Stories?
Jason's a bit younger than... Dick Grayson, when he started as Robin, was 13, 14, maybe, if that.
Damian Wayne is literally his son.
Damian Wayne is like that age. Because basically, as far as Robin Lord, the 3 main ones you have to concern yourselves with are basically 1, 2, 3, and 5. So the first one is Dick Grayson. Second one is Jason Todd. Third one is the one from the Arkham games, whose name escapes me. Who is the one that he moves on to once he thinks Jason's dead / kidnapped, depending on the storyline. And then the 5th one's Damian Wayne, because basically, Josh, do you remember Talia al Ghul from the second Arkham game?
No.
She's daughter of Ra's al Ghul.
I've not
But basically, she's the daughter of the head of a giant ninja syndicate in the world, and this guy is also aged. Well, he's not ageless, but he's
He's immortal, but only because of the
so that's the
Lazarus
word.
pit.
That's the word. He's immortal because of this Lazarus pit. Anyway, he ends up
Okay.
boning Talia basically, and ends up having a child with her that he doesn't know about until one day Talia rocks up on his doorstep and goes, "Hey, FYI, I had a kid. He's yours. He's called Damien. He's been taught in the ways of the League of Shadows. He knows how to kill." Yeah, aka assassins. So he knows how to kill, and he isn't afraid to kill. And now he's yours. Have fun. And then the problem becomes that he now is in charge of a Robin that isn't afraid to kill criminals at a moment's thought.
Okay.
That's Robin for you.
Yeah. I'm slightly closer to understanding
You're not. You think you are. You're
Robin
not.
stuff.
But no, going back to the Batman
I'm
v Superman
slightly
stuff, yeah,
closer.
you could have the really interesting thing is to have a situation where Batman becomes eventually broken and then eventually snaps and is now willing to kill.
And that leads you to Batman versus Superman, which you need to have an idealistic Superman who's been around for a while, and everyone knows him and trusts him.
And he has a friendship with Bruce.
That happens later.
Okay, fine, yeah.
Because in this canon, I don't think that would work. Because I'm pretty sure Superman would, pretty quickly prevent Batman jumping off the deep end. They respect each other. And at worst, the Flash comes in, and the Flash is like, "Yo, dude, don't do that." And he's like, "I like you, Flash. You're pretty cool." And he doesn't do it. I want a good Flash film. That's what I want.
What do you think of the Injustice storyline? Because that's obviously the opposite, with Superman goes off the rails.
Injustice doesn't scare me as much as The Boys. Because Injustice is clearly
The what?
fiction. But The Boys scares me. We talked about this last week.
Oh, I don't remember that. Which one was that?
It's that Homelander is sociopathic Superman, and he scares me. And Injustice Superman equally scares me. But, not equally, maybe to a lesser degree. Because he's very Justice Lords,
Okay, yeah, I get that.
And that's all we have time for this week, so please go back and watch episode 3. So that Matt can watch.
Damn it! I thought you were going to forget. I was
wondering when that was going to be brought up.
No, I was so hopeful. I thought, oh my god, he hasn't mentioned it all podcast. I was so adamant on not mentioning it. Like when he started mentioning Smallville, I was like, oh no, he's mentioned it. Please don't mention episode 3. God damn it!
And we'll be back next week with more probably AI dungeon.
And hopefully I will be back too, because I should be back as for the next episode.
We're pretty much recording these back to back, so I hope you'll be around.
Yeah, I definitely should be. Can you imagine it's just like, yeah, now I'm gone again.
We're not recording these back to back.
We're like 2 days apart.
Yeah, they're
that's
2 days
a pretty
apart
good
for
time
for these 2 episodes. Yeah.
Oh, do you want to do 5 a week then, Josh?
Hmm?
Do you want to do 5 a week then?
No, I'd kill myself.
Exactly.
That would suck.
Much like Man of Steel.